Hey, hey, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Mr. Creativity, Mr. James, man. He done got his spot back. You know it's about to be a great day. James got his spot. What's up, Mr. Creativity? Hey, Cam. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Elder. Good morning. Hey, Lamar. Good morning. Huck, Huck Court. Good morning. Hey, Ari. Good morning. Good to see y'all, man. Y'all up early, ain't y'all? Man, listen. We about to have another great day today. We got two people actually from the mayor's office that's going to come and talk with us today as our guest speakers. So if anybody is interested like in that type of work, like getting into like the mayor's office, like city council, like all that type of stuff like that, like this is definitely going to be the conversation for you. And then even with like getting grants and stuff like that for your projects and all that type of stuff, it's going to be a very, very, very interesting conversation. And plus, we get to find out what that new department is about. Y'all know the mayor's, the mayor office has a department called Children and Family Success. So we get to figure out what that's about. Oh, Q, yo, I need, oh, my bad. Yo, my bad, Q. I ain't even see you right there, baby. Good morning. My bad. I know you consistent, yo, and you up there too. You was like within the top three. Good morning. Hey, Summer. Summer. Good morning. Hey, Sam. Sam, this your first one. Welcome, welcome. Hey,
Welcome.
Amaya. Good morning, Miss
Hey,
Simone.
Miss Tony.
Yo, you know it's about to be a good day, yo.
You already know.
You already, yo, Mr. Creativity got his spot, yo. He got his first spot today, yo.
Hey.
Yo. He got his spot. He making the comeback.
Oh, I love a good comeback story. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
yo, yo, did you see his trailers that he making for YouTube pages?
James.
You ain't see it?
Oh, y'all know I don't be on. Is this on social media? It's on Instagram.
No, I seen it on a Zoom call. I don't think he promoted it officially yet on IG. If he did, I didn't see it. But
Send it
it's
to me.
hard, y'all. It's a hard.
I really
Like,
love this.
I'm buying me a HeartSmiles one. So yeah, so like, yeah. So and like, I don't think he realized like, yo, you can even do more with that even outside of YouTube. So even if you don't have a YouTube channel, if you got any type of product that you want to promote, like you gotta have one of these little trailers and you can post it wherever.
He's
Like he did a great job.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, yeah, I need to see it, please. I think I need a trailer because people be trying to play me. I'm about to send them a trailer. Like, look now.
This who I am. Hey yo, it's the most
They're gonna be like, "What's your business, me?"
you are the business. Yo, I I know that's right. Hey, Beezy, good morning. Yo, everybody coming out the coffins, yo.
Come on, pull them out the graves, pull them out.
Yo, they coming out, yo. They clawing, yo. They just digging, yo. And to whoever sent my man Skinny that screenshot, thanks. Because he hit me up this morning. So he said he was going to be on here today. So Skinny, if you on here, make yourself known. Going to send me a message 7 o'clock this morning. I'm up already. I'm just waiting for y'all to start.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Get up, get up, get up, get up. We have work to do.
Got a lot of work to do, man. Yeah. I think this is Sam's first success session. Hey, y'all gotta show Sam some love, man. I think this is first one. Yeah. Sam been in the little grave too.
I know. I'm like, oh, good. Oh, James just sent it to me. I'm so excited. I'm gonna watch this thing. It's fire. But
Yeah.
welcome. Yeah, we love to see it.
Yeah, for sure. You might need to, can you share your screen and show it?
Oh yeah. Well, just a second, cause I'm having some technical difficulties, so I'm not on my computer.
Dang.
Yeah,
You
I'm a
stayed together with Miss Simone.
look. It's I didn't sign up to be an IT person. They put this on me. Okay, we were on a call the other day, and Jeff Leaker does.
Yeah,
He was like, he feels like his life is just in a Zoom meeting now. Like every time, it's like seriously, I feel like I'm in a bubble.
exactly. Yo, we
So,
gonna see if Miss Simone can share her screen and play one of James's creation. Yeah, Mr. Creativity. Man, listen. Stamped and approved.
I really love this because James, this is what I'm talking about. Like you do fashion, design, art, but this is like all the level. You're putting all of your gifts and talents, like you're not letting people put you in a box. You're like, I could give you a nice outfit. I could record the video of you in the outfit. We could do a show. You need a flyer. Like that's the kind of person you need in a business. I feel like people want a one-stop shop. People don't, it's a lot going on. So if you can make things easier for people and just have it there for them all at once, I'm like, take my,
Yeah.
here's the money.
Is
Thank
that yo, why Sam gonna say actually this is my third? Because I said this is his first success session. Yo, how you bragging, yo? This is only your third. You should have just took the first one. People would have congratulated you. Ain't nobody yo, you 3 times, yo, really? Bye, Sam. Yo, bye, yo. No wonder you ain't getting no wonder ain't nobody dropped no hearts for you. So actually, this is my third. Yo, I'm done with you, Sam. All right, y'all. This is James, Mr. Creativity. This is creation, y'all.
Ready?
Yeah.
Hey, bitch, I'm a problem, nobody solving. You can keep hating, I'm popping regardless. He wanna feel it like Megan Thee Stallion. Don't want your nigga cause I want his daddy. I like to switch up my style every week. I gotta switch up my hair every day. I ain't no hoe, but I do be on going. I promise my niggas gon' love me the same. I'm a hot girl, don't try it at home. I wear the shit that be showing my thong. I like to drink and I like to have sex. I fuck the niggas that's cutting the checks. Dance on the dick now.
Oh, I love this. Gee.
Right? Yeah.
Period. Okay, Stinker with your cute self.
Yeah, right? Sorry about the music, y'all. YouTube, if you watch this, please don't flag us. We did not know that lady was about to say all that. We don't want nobody father. That's not what we about.
Can we get a
I'm sorry, y'all. All my parents watching, I'm sorry, y'all. We had no idea. See, yo, my bad, y'all. This why you can't just play people's stuff on the humble. Yo, Mr. Creativity, yo, you always need an edited version. You never know when somebody want to just play your stuff, yo. Now you got all my parents over there cringing. Sorry, y'all.
We really, really apologize.
Exactly. He didn't know what song that was. He never even heard that song.
But that's actually James's ringtone. Why you playing it?
Oh my gosh. Hey, yo. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. I know, Lamar. I know your little sensitive ears. I know they burning. Mine too.
Oh.
And y'all know my mother like baby Jesus. She Jesus' little sister, and she got it on the big screen. So
I'm so sorry.
I know, Ma. I'm sorry, Ma. She over there crumbling up her knit set and everything. Like, what is this?
Should do I love you, Jesus. Okay, let's just
right. But it was good though. But overall, like the video was amazing. Like the video is amazing.
Is the energy is nice, the effect is colorful, it grabs your attention, it's clear and concise. I know who we're talking about, what I can get. Like this is good, James.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think y'all knew Sam want to do like that same type of thing because he's a little talented with the videos and stuff too.
Hey Sam, come on, number 3.
He been in the grave, y'all. He only been to 3, so.
Gotta get y'all up here. Showcase your stuff. Don't
got to, yo. Got to. And especially when stuff open up, how many businesses are gonna need that type of product? Man, don't sleep, y'all.
No, you know what I was I think it was Mr. Robert Kennedy's session, and he was saying how like he's been asking people, like trying to listen to what people are gonna need like 3 months ahead, and that's how you start to like be forward thinking in your business. I'm like, that is so true. Like everyone can't wait to bust out. So if you can have your stuff set up and ready and be thinking about what people are gonna need, y'all are gonna be in
Yeah.
business. I need my own consultation.
Yeah, you ain't lying, man. And stack your money. I had two people fall out of the opportunity that we got. So I'm looking for two kids. I know it's the 21217 situation though.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so if y'all know anybody, connected to anybody, it could be anything. They can work in 21217, they can live in 21217, they can go with one of those schools, 21217. Yo, if you know somebody pretty responsible, send them my way. That's an easy $480 a month.
Just
Easy,
for growing your
easy.
for growing your mind. Come on, people.
That's
Please.
it. That's it. And I don't want to waste the money because if we don't spend it, then we're going to end up
Yeah.
not using it. So I definitely want to invest in a young person. So
All right, call your people, y'all.
yo, can't say, yo, I'll move over there.
Kim, cut it out.
Yo, I might as well virtually move her over there. Like, yo, you here? Like,
But actually, Kim said, let me set up shop while y'all playing.
exactly, right? Might as well. Sam, if that's you, I might take a chance on you, buddy. You here today. So if that's you, let me know if you're serious. Like, it's easy money. It don't get no easier. And you get to grow and learn and build your network and all that stuff like that.
You can't beat it.
You can't beat it, y'all. It's too easy. It's too easy.
I'm excited for you guys. Get these opportunities, okay? Pour into yourself. Do it now before you have to start doing a split screen like some adults who have to do their work but still want to get this knowledge, okay?
Exactly.
Get the full screen on, okay?
Exactly. What we doing today, Miss Simone? What's going on? We on Thursday.
I know we're on we made it, Miss Jody.
We almost made it.
Almost there.
Never would have made it. Never. We almost there.
But you listen, today I feel a shout in my spirit. I'm trying to keep it together because I know I'm pretty churchy. But y'all might get a never would have made it on here the way we're going. But
Yeah.
I wanted us to do a part 2 of the time management because I really left feeling like I heard what y'all were saying about like it's still just overwhelming and it can be stressful and just like how do you make this work for you in this concept of balance? So it was just sitting in my spirit. I'm like, we got to try it again. I want y'all to feel like empowered by this. I want to share some of my tips of how I find balance and joy while managing my time. And I want y'all to interact too and really like, like I said, it's how to make your time work for you. So be interactive with this. Like as we're going through the slides, I'm going to share some things I do, but feel free to put in the comments some things that you do that work for you. Put any questions or things you're struggling with. I think yesterday someone had a good question about sleep and like, how do I get my sleep pattern on? That was a great question because that all plays a part in your time. So we're just going to do a little bit deeper dive today and try to get a better handle on our time. And trust me.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Did you see the book I added you in this morning? The Chris Bailey book, The Productivity Project?
No, not yet, but I'm gonna look
Okay.
at it.
All right, yeah, no, I sent it to you. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, because productivity, it's key. Okay. So I think maybe they should start it's not even like it's time management, but it's all really about making your time work for you and being productive, and like maximizing your time. So maybe we can change the word, y'all, because sometimes we put these labels and it keeps us from like achieving what we need. Whatever word you need to put on it, do it, but you need to be productive with your time because it is a limited resource. We don't have a lot of it. So, like I said yesterday, I heard you guys saying, your struggles with time management is because you really want to find balance and you want to find joy. And sometimes like, it can be overwhelming. You still need personal time and self care, but you also want to have a life. You want to like hang out with your friends and you want to have fun. You want to do those things and you should be able to. But I know sometimes it's like, I want to achieve my goals And how do I do all of that at once? So hopefully today, after we talk through some of these things, you'll feel like you have a better grasp on that. And then I know sometimes when people talk about time management, it just seems so robotic and a little too repetitive. So you feel like you won't be able to just like kind of enjoy life as it comes and kind of like take it easy. But hopefully I can show you guys some ways that I still make it work for me without letting, life just pass me by, but still appreciating each moment as it comes, because life is really about your journey and not just the destination. Like the whole point that makes it valuable and worthwhile is because you're embracing each moment each day. And when you do hit those markers, it's just kind of like, oh, good, I am doing what I'm supposed to do. But what were all the things that it took to get me there? And that's what makes it valuable. So I have some things you can consider and some tips. And I apologize that my slides are so wordy today. But like I said, this was really on my heart and I want to make sure y'all get it. So I was just typing. So really, these are my notes. So more just listen to me, if anything. And then if you're a visual person, you need to look at something, do it, take a picture, but just rock with me, okay? And Miss Joni, please chime in at all times because I'm still learning and growing in this area too. And any tips that you have are greatly appreciated. But I just want you guys to think about these things as you're thinking about time management, because, everything in life really requires sacrifices now for rewards later, right? So don't think about like managing your time as like restricting you. It really is helping you to be better for your future. So like just in general, life is a give and take. Like you spend time talking to your friends because you hope in the future that y'all will remain friends and you'll build a long lasting relationship, right? So like you're already doing a lot of this stuff in your day to day like life, like you're sacrificing a little bit of time doing whatever you want to do, having fun to focus on your online packets and your schoolwork. And it might not feel fun now, but in the end, when you cross that high school stage, you're going to feel very hyped. Like, think about those things. Like, you don't want to be the person missing out on your goals and your dreams because you wanted to live in the now. Because I was reading this book and it says, if you see what people are committed to now, it'll tell you what their life will be like 10 to 20 years later. And we talk about that all the time. Remember us talking about that, Miss Joni, and it's so true. Like, this concept of like just living in the now, that will really mess you up. It's more about taking in the moments like that are good and like appreciating it. So like being grateful at the end of every day, trying to be reflective. Like Miss Simone had a really good session on being grateful and having a journal and being like, okay, so what were some things that I didn't really like that happened today, but what were some good things and what I can do better? Like that is more of how you live in the now, not just being reckless, just saying, you know what, forget it. I don't want to do my homework. I'm just going to go smoke or go drink or go talk to my friends. That's like detrimental to your future. Like that is just being reckless. It's not really embracing the moment because you're just trying to escape. Real embracing of the moment is reflective, being grateful, maneuvering and figuring out life as you should day by day. So that's that whole concept.
What do you say, Miss Simone, to kids who can't like really visualize their future? So like they know that eventually they're going to be 25 or 30 or 35, but they can't really see themselves at that age, like right now. So for them, that's not necessarily a priority. Like, what do you say to them?
Yeah. Well, y'all, this is like the good part about being young because they kind of give you certain milestones, you can kind of check off, right? Like when you get to be an adult, sometimes they're just like, okay, I hope you figure it out. But you need to graduate high school. They kind of set that up for you. Like if you stay on this track and you graduate high school, that's a good, so start there. And then after you graduate high school, you have some options, right? So like, okay, do I want to go to college or do I want to work? And like, what field do I want to be in? Like start thinking about those things that will really like drive your next step, because there's a little, two little pivot points. And then let's say you go to college. Once you're in college, then start thinking about what you want to do in your major and stuff like that. Like set goals year to year, and that will help you start to visualize, and you start getting around good people and mentors, and then it'll just start coming to you. And when you spend those nights reflecting and thinking about what went good in your day and what you didn't really like, that also helps to visualize and shape your future, because you'll be like, I had a presentation today and I loved it. Like, I actually think I like public speaking and I think I like talking. Like, maybe I might want to be a teacher. who do I know that's a teacher that I can reach out to help me figure out what I should do in my life? You know, it's kind of just like trial and error and picking, but you got to be looking for it and kind of use these roadblocks as young people now, because sometimes once you graduate high school and graduate college, and they're like, okay, what do you want to do now? And for my people who might not want to do college, that's okay too. But still try to have some mindset for, like, make sure you're in a job that you really like, or you're starting your business, and get connected with people and see what they're doing, so that, and like take on opportunities, be reflective at the end of the day, so you can start to shape what you like day by day, but still setting like maybe some yearly goals. And then before you know it, you'll blink and you'll be 25, accomplishing way more than you could have ever imagined. You'll definitely achieve your goals, but then you'll even be a little bit far ahead because you've just embraced opportunities. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right, so then this concept of like, you can have it all. So Michelle, I want your idea on this too, because I've been trying to grapple with this. So I put, you can have it all, but maybe not all at the same time, right? And it kind of goes with the second bullet point, is like, as your life changes, so do your priorities, right? So it's just like this all, and it kind of goes with this there's a superwoman complex sometimes that women have, specifically Black women, where we're like, okay, I need to be cooking, cleaning, working. I need to be the top person at my job. I need to be the best wife. I need to be the best friend. And it's just like, it just is not, like, you're only one person, right? And so sometimes, I said it yesterday, life is an ebb and flow. So maybe you'll be on one extreme with work, and then you need to pull yourself back and work a little bit more on your friendships, and you do a little bit each day as you can, and then eventually you will find that balance and harmony. But I just kind of think about it, I'm not even trying to throw shade, but it's like, have you ever seen those people who are moms but still want to be out in the streets, in the club? And it's just like, that's just not how do you think you're going to be a good mom and living your best life? Like, this not. So also, guys, don't think you're going to be like a number one student and at all the parties. Like, you have to have you have to figure out what your priorities are. And that's more of like how you juggle these things. It's not like it's all going to happen unless you're going to be at the party doing your homework, which I don't know how effective that's going to be. So just try to think about that stuff. Or even Mr. Fred with Little Laughs. I like how he said, because he was on TV, but still in the community, right? And I love that kind of stuff, because I'm like, yes, a lot of the times people think if you're like high up here, you can't be still humble and still authentic. But what I realized is, like, that was one season in his life when he was on TV, and they told him like he needed to wait before he did it. So then he was working, right? So he wasn't on TV and in the community at the same time, but he like did that first, focused and gave his energy to that. And then that allowed time for him to do other stuff. So when you think about having it all, don't think about it as all at once. Thinking about it as like buckets of your life. So your professional life, your family, your friends, and this. And like, sometimes you might have to focus a little bit more on that. But then you check yourself and you're like, okay, but how is my family doing? And then how are my friends doing? And you kind of move it like those balls in the air. Don't think it all has to be everything all at once, because you're going to stress yourself. Okay.
Yeah, and I would say the only thing that I would kind of add on to that too is that this concept of you get what you work for, not what you wish for. Because I'm a true believer that anything that you want, you can have, you can achieve. And I'm definitely testimony to the fact that you don't have to do everything perfect to still land in the place where you want to be. But it really does depend on like, what type of sacrifices are you willing to make? How much are you trying to discipline yourself and really stick to that discipline? How willing are you to be humble and bend a knee and allow somebody else to lead in a particular situation? And how much are you willing to sacrifice in terms of learning from other people and being able to, model yourself after other people who are currently at or have surpassed where you want to eventually be? And it's like a lot of people don't want to do those things. And they think that, God is good, but a little prayer ain't gonna put you where you want to be, because you still got to do the work.
Absolutely.
And just hoping and wishing for it ain't enough. You've really got to work for it.
Okay, I gotta preach because I think, I love God and I want y'all to get this really in your spirit. Like, God is here to, like, because no human is perfect. Everyone has their weaknesses, their struggles that they go through. He doesn't want you to be perfect. He just wants you to try your best. And then that's the whole point of believing in a higher power. So I'm going to give you my all and I need you to fill in the gaps, okay? Because I know there's some things I'm still working on. So you do your work and then you say your prayer, and then the power of that together is what activates success. But don't just think you can pray and sit on your butt. That's not how it works. So please don't get that lie. It's a lie.
Please say that again for the people in the back. God needs your help. He needs your help.
He needs your help.
He said he'll do it with you, not for you.
Miss Joni, should we preach today? Because look,
don't get me too hype, Miss Simone. Don't get me too hype. Don't get me too hype. Don't get me too hype on that.
I'm sorry, but yo, we are here on purpose. I don't want to shove this down your throat, but I don't know what you believe, but we are here on purpose. Why do you think, like, hearing Mr. Williams' story yesterday about his trauma with his mother and how he was so close to dying? And I know there's some situations, y'all, there's probably everyone has a story where you shouldn't have been here, but you're still here. And you think it's just to sit on your butt, or you think it's supposed to do something in this earth? All right.
Yo.
So
I'm saying this one last thing, Miss Simone, and then I'm shutting up.
No, please go. Please go.
This man watched his mother get shot in the face. This man watched his brother get shot in the head, and he still rose up and became something great, helping other people. Y'all ain't got no excuses. You ain't got no excuses at that point. I don't care what's going on in your house. I don't care how bad your parents are. I don't care how bad your family is. If you want to break that generational cycle of poverty, you can do it. If you want to break that generational cycle of mental illness, you can do it. Anything that you want to do, you can do. And every single excuse that you got to let that go. Because if a man can stand here and say, yeah, I saw my mother get shot in the face, and still made something of himself despite that, you just got disarmed of every single excuse that you want. Because at this point, being successful and doing something more is 100% your choice. And if you are choosing to lay in those excuses, if you are choosing to lay in that bed that everybody else done made for you and not create your own situation, then that's on you. And don't you dare part your lips and say what nobody owe you or what wasn't fair, because at the end of the day, man, it's on what you were supposed to do. The promise was not that the obstacles and the weapons wouldn't form. The promise was that those obstacles and weapons would not prosper. That's what that was. I'm shutting up.
We gotta let it sink in, Miss Joni, because that was a whole word and a half and a half and a half and a half. Okay, let it marinate, y'all. I have nothing. Thank you, Miss Joni. Thank you so much, because I needed that too. No excuses, y'all. None. And on that note, like Miss Joni said, life is not supposed to be easy all the time. I wish it was, y'all. I promise you, I wish I do, but that's just not how it works, okay? So when you can, be intentional about doing things that bring you joy as much as possible. Nothing hurts more than to sit and stuff. Life is there's so many other things out of your control. If you can be strong and really think about what things that you like to do and just do them, and don't let other people influence you or what people say, do the things that bring you joy, you will live a fulfilled life and it will shine off of you and it will radiate. And then you won't think about time management as a restriction. You'll think about it as you're owning it, because you're doing things that bring you joy. You're on purpose and you're helping others. And that's like how you live a fulfilled life. And that's how you start finding balance. And like, because I feel like y'all want balance because you really want peace, right? You don't want to feel frazzled. You don't want to feel all out of control. So part of that is owning this journey, really figuring out who you are and what you want, being confident in your decisions about how you spend your time, and being real with yourself. If something isn't working, you need to change it. And so that is how you really start to find that inner peace, that inner balance and joy as you're trying to manage your time. So the first thing I want to tell y'all that I'm still, trust me, y'all, we can hold each other accountable. But this right here is the quickest stealer of your joy and any kind of balance you think you're going to have in your life. You can't procrastinate. And I like, you say this too much, like, don't worry about it, just do it. Stop talking about it and just do it. Like, you really have to just do it. And I know that sometimes there could be all these things telling you not to do it, these bare distractions. But that's why I said doing a little bit of something is better than nothing. So even if you're like the first person, this is your first success session, this is a good, like, just get on here. Stop with the excuses, just log on. Then maybe next day put a heart. Know that what you have to offer is going to be worth enough, but you just not doing anything is keeping you in the same spot. So give the best you can every day. Don't accept less than what you know you can give, and just do what you can do every day. It's really about that consistency and that discipline, okay? Because I feel like some of y'all try to come all the way hard and then you feel like overwhelmed and then you pull all the way back. And it's like, no, it's more about consistency. So every day, try to figure out, what can I do? What can I give to better me? And then setting dates and times that are earlier is so good. You got to trick yourself and lie to yourself. Y'all know people be on CP time and they're like, well, let me tell them 2 hours earlier so that they'll actually get sometimes even 3. Do that with your schoolwork. Do that with stuff. You got to trick yourself. In my car, I put the time 5 minutes ahead so that I can try to be on time. Like, you got to do whatever you need to do to make it work for you so that you can be where you want to be. So stop procrastinating. Do a little bit every day. Figure out if you need to chop it up. You have an hour's worth of homework. How many minutes can I give each day? Even if it's just 2 minutes, then you got to do 2 minutes every hour. I don't know, but you got to do it. So let's go.
Yes, procrastination is the enemy of progress. I just had to tell y'all that.
It really, really is, y'all. And that's I gotta go back, because that's the stuff that keeps you stressed. When you say you're stressed, it's probably because you're not managing your time well, because you feel overwhelmed, or you're not communicating effectively what you need for people. You're not asking for help. So really, the procrastination for me is the thing that really gets me stressed. So don't do it. All right, sorry, this is a lot of text, but pretty much what I want to say to you guys is stop being your biggest enemy. Like, what you have to know who you are and know that that is enough. Stop telling yourself these lies that you're not good enough, that you can't do it, because I know they will come, but block them right back out with stuff that you know that you are and your worth. So this could be a little controversial, but I said your work is not associated with your worth. And what I meant is, like, theirs could be bumps. Like, there are homeless people on the street right now, and like they could be doing more, okay, but that still doesn't take away their value as a person. Everyone has value and has something to offer. So when you guys are seeing things aren't going your way and it's not working, I want you to focus more on the situation and how to make it better, but like not belittling yourself, because then you're just going to go even more in your hole. So I said a good example is, like, let's say you didn't do well on your test, right? You haven't really been on your online work like you know you should be. So you need to say, in this situation, I know I could have studied more. I could have asked for help. I could have got on Miss Caitlin's success sessions and did my packet. Like, what are some things? Focus on the things in the situation, and how you can do better and work on those. Don't say, I failed my test, so that means I'm going to fail at life and I'm dumb and I'm not good at math, so I'm just not going to try. No. Stop putting it on you and focus on the situation and what you could be doing better in the situation to change it, and like start to frame your schedule. You don't have to, like, when you're working on yourself, you don't have to belittle yourself. You're still valuable, you're still powerful, but there's just some things that you need to work on in that situation to be where you want to be. And then the last point is, if you start seeing consistencies in your statement, so over and over, oh, I could have studied more, or I could have asked for help more, then you really got to self-reflect and make those changes. And then knowing how much time things actually take. So that used to get me every time when I first started my schedule. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this for an hour and I'm gonna talk for an hour. And everything was just an hour, because it sounds good. And then I was not sticking to my schedule. And I'm like, oh gosh, okay. So then I had to start like timing myself, or trying to really be intentional, just like for like maybe a week or two, and really think about how much time does it take me to really do things. So that's kind of how you get out of the management, putting yourself in a box, but making your time work for you. So I know for me, like, especially when I went natural doing my hair, I used to think I could just do it in an hour and like wake up and just, and I'm like, no, Simone, cut it out. Cause I'd be stressed, I'd be late, I'd be looking crazy. And it just was not. So I know I have to, like, it's a 2-day process. I got to do some stuff at night. I got to do some stuff in the morning, and I need to account for that time because that's just me. So that helps me. And then eventually, like with my hair, I started getting the hang of it, right? So then like I could cut down my time and then I could adjust accordingly during my day. So now maybe I can just get up there. I don't need 2 days. So once you get a feel for it and you're more consistent and you're real with yourself and you're tracking your time, then you can adjust as needed and add other things that you want to do, maybe get some more sleep, because now I'm getting more sleep, or I get some braids. You got to make it work. You got to figure out what you need to do, but don't rush it and don't lie to yourself about how much things times take, because that will just, again, stress you out. And then being humble and transparent with people really helps, right? So I didn't find this out until my adult life, until I really got out of college. And like, when you're working, people have meetings and da 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 da, and like you have to go here and there. And I used to be busting my butt, like falling out, and people would just send an email, so sorry, Simone, I'm running late, be there in 5 minutes. I'm like, okay. Or like, even a presenter. So then I realized, I was like, everyone has lives, everyone is busy. Not saying that that's okay, but I realized like people don't expect me to be perfect. They just expect me to be humble, real, and communicate. Okay. So like, I can't be out here like just doing whatever, always not being where I'm supposed to be. But if I do have a slip up one day, let me just be real and stop lying and acting like, oh, and I'm sorry, I was da da da. Ms. John, I'm sorry, my Wi-Fi is acting crazy. And I need to figure out how I'm going to make this work, but I will be there, and I'm going to come hard once I get there. Stuff like that. Like, people don't expect you to be perfect. They just want you to be real, transparent, and communicate what is going on, and then maybe ask for help if you keep seeing consistencies. But if people don't respect and appreciate you being humble and like how you're trying to fit, then you already know. They get the scissors and they gotta go. Especially in life with your friends and sometimes family members, those can definitely, sometimes when you're in a job and stuff, you can't get them the scissors. They be trying to give you the scissors. So you have to be attentive to that. But I realize when like things like we're just getting a little hectic and stuff, like it's on me to communicate that, tell people, look, I'm sorry, I'm still trying to figure this out. But and that doesn't excuse you from still going hard and giving your best. But sometimes just taking that step back, apologizing, saying how you're going to work on stuff really, really helps.
Yo, Miss Simone, you cannot stress that whole transparent and communication piece enough. And even now, I don't know if you know the other half of it's never going to work. Jada.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yo, because we had our little conversation. She told me she was going to be consistent on these sessions. And I said, all right, yo, I'm not going to be stressing you. I'm just trusting you to do your part. I did my part. I'm trusting you to do your part. Where's she at? That's what I'm saying. Miss Simone, it's crazy. Like, yo, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me, and definitely don't lie to yourself, and just be real and just be transparent. The way how Miss Simone said, like, I'm always going to keep up my end of the bargain. I did what I said I was going to do, even with little faith in the fact that you was going to do what you do or what you said you was going to do. But man, like, yo, where's you at?
Where are you at?
Where you at? Where you at? You ain't holding up your end of the bargain, man. And see, that's what I be talking about.
if you need a week to get, don't lie. Don't just tell people what they, be real with yourself. Like Miss Johnny said, I'm not here to, no one's trying to, we're trying to help. We want the best for you. Yeah, we have an idea and a vision of what could really push you to go farther just because we see the greatness in y'all, but we're willing to work with you. That's why we're here. That's why we stay even with the foolishness. So stop lying to stop. It's not like you're not helping anybody.
Here go Elder. Here go Elder. She right here. Elder, you not her savior. You not her voice. She got her own account. She got her own voice. She know what her and I talked about. If this was about Elder, then I wouldn't have talked to her. I would have talked to you and said, oh, you do this for Jada. You do this. Nah, me and Jada and I had our own conversation. So when I see Elder name, that don't equate to Jada for me because that ain't who I talk to.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
Come on, y'all.
Listen, man.
Come on, y'all.
I can't, y'all. I can't.
Just do the best for you. And like, I gotta shout out Kim because she does a good job of this, which I still need to work on. Like, she'll be, sorry, y'all, I'm in class, but I'm still here commenting. I'll be back in an hour. And she will be back in an hour. Or she'll be like, she'll tell you what is going on. And that communication goes a long way. No one expects y'all to be perfect. No one expects you to be, we know you have a lot of things going on in your life, but be real, communicate what you can do, and then do what you say you're going to do. Don't lie and create all these unrealistic, I'm gonna be on there from 10 to 3 if you know you can only do 12 to 1. Don't do it. Because now
right.
Now when you get on 12 to 1, we don't even really care that much because you done set it all up here. Be real, figure out what you can do and make it work for you. Okay.
Hey, look, Elder's the best bodyguard. If y'all need a bodyguard, get Elder. I think she just started a new business because she's taking all the bullets for this girl. It's on the TV. She right here. Yo, how am I supposed to know that? That ain't what we discussed.
Yeah. And we get it. I know you're trying to be a good friend and all that stuff, but make sure everybody, this is for Jada's good. It's for her. But anything we're saying, yeah, it might be a little funny and shady, but it will be better for her in the long run. And if that's your friend and you want better for the people around you, you will let her get her own heat.
Right? Because by the time she's 30, if y'all still going through this, that is she gonna be too heavy to carry. You gonna be like, yo, I can't keep carrying you. I can't keep taking these bullets. Man, yo, let people be responsible for their own stuff. Let people do their own stuff. This is too easy. How easier can it be? Yo, how much? Listen, Mom, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I know it's gonna marinate. We're gonna keep praying. We're gonna do some peer leadership. Everyone in the comments, don't be afraid to hold people. Come on, it takes a collective because we're trying to be, this is an elite club, okay? A lot of people don't live like this, and we're trying to get it to y'all now, okay? So the next bullet point is trying to multitask if you can. And I kind of want to change it to like, this is really about maximizing your productivity because they do say a lot of the times in time management stuff that you really shouldn't multitask a lot because that can make you get frazzled and you're not really appreciating the moment. You're trying to split your mind and your brain and you really do need to focus. But what I mean by this is like, before Miss Rona came and twisted things up and we could drive and I could go to work in my car, I used to try to like, you know, I would have like what I call office hours because it's just me and the son, like, who do I need to check in on and call? Because I have like a 30-minute drive, you know? So if you guys are taking the bus and and like someone comes on your mind, that's a good time. Or if you do need some self-care time and you feel like you need to get your mind right, do those things. Or like I used to listen to like podcasts and books, but like you're never just gonna catch me unintentionally having an idle mind, just doing whatever. So that's what I mean by in those moments. Or like sometimes like I'll fold my clothes while I'm talking to my friends so that I can like keep my room, you know, I do like little those are things that I can do together that's not gonna really like take my mind off of the conversation and being in the moment, but I can kind of do two things at one time. So that's what I mean by multitask if you can, but don't be trying to like talk to people and be on your phone. That's rude. Or try to do your homework and be at a party. Like I said, like that kind of stuff probably won't work. But if you're in a space where you feel like you might be able to do two things at once, then do it. And then asking for help is key. Ask for help. It's so important. Stop trying to do everything on your own by yourself. Got the whole team on your back and you're stressed. That's not what it is. And if they can, and good people, like I tell you guys, like I can try my best to help, but I don't know everything either. So if I can't help you, then I can refer you to somebody. But there's too many people in this world with knowledge that you should not be trying to figure out like stuff on your own. And then also when people do help, make sure you thank them, because I know I talked yesterday about when you can kind of delegate tasks and like Miss Joni said, like let other people lead. You don't always have to be in the forefront. Sometimes say, and thank people when they do that stuff. Encourage them. Like you need a team around you. So when you can't do stuff, they can do it. And then you like appreciate them. And so when you might need them again, they'll come back. If you're not grateful and people are doing, you're gonna be doing stuff on your own. And that's not good. People want to feel appreciated. So make sure you thank them. And then I want y'all to stop wasting your money on foolishness and pay for things that will actually increase your productivity. Okay. So this is key. You got making your life work for you. So I remember when I was going, I don't know, I think it's when I came to Hopkins and I was getting my master's and I needed a new computer and I was pissed because I know I just feel like computers should last forever. So anytime my computer dies, I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Let's do this. And they were saying like, you should get a Mac. And I'm like, I don't need a Mac. That's just the hype and everybody wants a Mac. But then they started showing me all the things. I'm like, well, I already have an iPhone. And if I get my Mac, then I can just have everything synced. So sometimes I can like text, do my work, be in my Zoom meeting. Like I can do a couple things. So like, I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me do, like, if I'm going to spend the money on something, let me spend it on something that's actually going to help me, make me productive. Things like that, like different trainings that I can do that help me to be a better leader or a better speaker, that help me with my research. Those are the kinds of things that I really try to spend my money on because that's going to help me to feel more prepared, more empowered, more efficient with my time than just to be like, I have all these cute clothes, but then I'm stressed and have no time management. So, okay, so this is a review from yesterday. Just knowing your why and setting your goals, having priorities so you can make your schedule. Like that really is step one, knowing your why so that you can really figure out why you're doing some of the things you're doing, setting some goals for yourself to achieve your why, having priorities on there, and then actually really writing down your schedule. Write it down. You need to do this. Because once you track your time, then you can figure out where you need more balance. Isn't that mind blowing, y'all? Y'all think we just be saying stuff to say it, but it's really to help you. Once you have a record and a track of what you're doing, then you can figure out why you don't have this balance that you want. Because you can see, oh my gosh, I'm spending 5 hours on social media. Like I have a timer on my phone for how much time I'm spending on social media because I don't have an account like that to be. So if I'm spending over like an hour or 2 hours a day, that's a problem for me. And I'm like, no, we need to cut that out. Or if I see like, I've really just been focused on like just work, and I haven't really talked to my friends, oh no, I need to like make sure I check in with the people I care about. So really try to track your time. Once you track it for maybe like a week, ask yourself these questions. Am I spending my time on things that bring me joy? Like real things that fill me up. And sometimes you got to first go back and ask yourself, what does even bring me joy? What things, like lean into it. Once you leave things, once you talk to people, sit with yourself and say, do I feel filled up? Am I excited? I'm pumped up. How can I add more of those things into my schedule? So then that's when you say, okay, where in my schedule can I maybe do a little bit more multitasking? Or do I have too many things on my plate, which is real? Like, am I trying to do too much? What can I get rid of? And when you're asking yourself, what can you get rid of that's on your plate? Does it align with my goals and my purpose and things that are important to me and my priorities? If the answer is no, then you got to cut down on it. And that's okay, because you'll feel, it might hurt in the beginning, but then when you're living a life of joy and balance, it'll feel okay, because you're like, yeah, that's not really doing anything for me. I got to take this out. And then where can I do things with other people that I love, So like trying to incorporate some people, like people that you love in your life, and inviting them to do things with you. If you feel like you're kind of missing out on that aspect of your life, that's always a good thing to do. Then I feel like another question people get like messed up about is because like, am I where I want to be at professionally in my life? I feel like people like that steals your joy and your balance all the time. So you need to figure out like, if are you where you want to be? If you're not, what are some things that you can do to get there a little bit day by day, and add that to your schedule so that you start feeling that joy and that balance. And then, am I effectively communicating my goals and needs with people in my life? And am I being understanding towards others, knowing that I will need them to be understanding with me at some point? So like I said, life is a give and take. So you need to be like communicating what you need from people. And if they have to reschedule or they need to have some grace and some patience, watch it a little bit. If it becomes repetitive, that's a red flag. It might need to be some scissors, but also have grace and patience with people. Cause like I said, everyone's busy. Everyone's trying to figure out this time management thing. So try to be as graceful as you can, knowing that you're probably going to need someone to give you some grace one day too. So going back to like when you're trying to figure out your schedule and the things that you're doing to balance your time and make your time work for you, really be asking yourself, why am I doing this? Why is this important to me? Why is this on my task list? Or why does it need to be done? So these are just some questions that I try to like check in with myself, because like I said, like time is short, and I'm not going to just be on this earth letting life pass me by and not knowing why I'm doing stuff and why it's bringing me joy. Oh, geez, we only have 4 minutes. Okay, so then this, and this was something we did yesterday, so we won't go do too much into it. But what I do is I always plan out my day. There's not one day that I don't have a little something where I know what's going to be going on. So I start with the things that I have to do, like, and when I say have to do, that are like important to me, that I know if I don't do it, like it's not going to be a good day. And then also things that I might want to do. And this is like a little flexible in my schedule, but it's not, if it doesn't happen, it's okay. Like I have to be all right with that. I want to do it, but if I can't do it today, I might have to do it tomorrow. So really start with those things that like you really need to do for you to have joy, balance, and get to where you want to be professionally in your life. Then you need to start off every day, make up your mind that it's going to be a good day no matter what. I know it sounds counterintuitive. You're not always going to have like necessarily good days, but at least you can have like a grateful day, right? So make that up in your mind. Don't let people steal your joy or your energy, because life is too short. When those moments come, you need to do what you can do to get back on track and keep going. And then another thing that really helps me is I decide if it's going to be like a busy day, like a hectic day, or I feel like this is like a manageable day. Like I don't have too much going on. So for my busy days, I have to remember to be gentle with myself. Like I'm not superwoman. It's not going to be like maybe like my best day. I'm going to do everything. Like I know I need to go to sleep early the day before. I need to make sure I eat some breakfast. I try to find stuff like during the day that I'm going to treat myself. So maybe that means I'm going to buy lunch, because I know that kind of makes me feel happy. I'm like, okay, I already know I'm gonna have a busy day, so today I'm gonna buy lunch. Or after work, I'm gonna do something to treat myself because I know I'm about to go hard today. I make sure I'm drinking water all throughout the day, because it sounds silly, but you need to be hydrating and like refueling yourself. And then like I said, like treating yourself, adding things that bring you joy so that you can still have a fulfilled life, even if you know you have to get some things done that you might not want to do or that's busy. Then if I have a manageable day where I feel like I can have a little bit more flex time, I at least plan for one non-negotiable thing that I want to do that day. And then I see like what other things I want to do that will fit in. But that one non-negotiable thing really helps me to like make sure I'm still focusing and giving myself time that I need to either work on my goals, work on some personal relationships I want to do. Like there's just not one day where I'm just going to let someone tell me what I'm going to do or just let my day pass me by. So that's why I would say, like, even if it's not a busy day, still have something focused on you that you're not going to let anyone interrupt, and plan when you're going to do that. Okay, I'm out of breath and we only have a few more minutes, but I'm just going to say, I know a lot of the times with time management, it's hard because you might get stuck on a task or you might be losing motivation. So then you start getting distracted and you get off your schedule and you just let the whole day take you by. And I'm like, no. Try to stick to your schedule and the things you're going to do as much as possible. So like for your homework packets, if you say you're going to do it 30 minutes, you do anything unless it's an emergency. until that 30 minutes is up. So if that means you need to breathe and come back, you need to go use that time to ask for help or get with a partner and collaborate. If you need to get some research, go on Khan Academy and do something with that 30 minutes. Make sure you really use that 30 minutes effectively. Or sometimes I know it really gets hard. I don't want to be like totally just preaching. So I'm not gonna lie, sometimes if I can't get a task done within the 30 minutes, I still wanna use that 30 minutes for something productive. So that's why I might switch to another task that might not be as immediate, but I still know it will help me. So a lot of the time, oh, I keep exposing myself. If I can't figure out something for work, then I'll start figuring out what I wanna talk about with you guys for a success session, because I know that that's gonna benefit me in the long run if I can prepare for that a little bit, because maybe I just need to get out of my own head. I'm trying to type too much, think too hard, but I'm still going to do something that's going to benefit me tomorrow, being productive. And then, like I said, being consistent helps you to reduce your procrastination, because you don't think everything is just coming on you at once. You're like, okay, good. I'm just going to do this for 30 minutes and then I don't have to think about it because I know I'll be back on it tomorrow. Being consistent with 30 minutes and just don't give up. What's the time check, Miss Joni? Okay. All right. We're going to have to do a part 3. I'm so sorry.
I know. It'd be so good, though. We need your jewels, though. You can't go nowhere without your jewels. We need your jewels.
I didn't even, because I put it at the end. Okay. Oh, man. I'm going to just have to give it to you guys early. But it just said, like, don't give all of yourself trying to be everything for everybody. Okay, like you're gonna drain yourself. You need it for you to be the best you can be, so that you can really help other people on your purpose and your journey. And just have good days. Y'all could do it.
Thank you, Miss Simone. Next time we see you, it's gonna be Friday. Yeah.
Get the music going, Miss Joey.
Yeah, right, man. Y'all gonna make me pull out some of this DJ equipment. All right.
Please,
No,
need it.
I ain't playing with y'all. Well, thank you so much, Miss Simone. We'll see you tomorrow at 10.
Yes, see you there.
All right, and y'all, I see y'all back in a few minutes, right at 11. We're gonna have our friends from the mayor's office join us. I see y'all back in a few minutes. Hey, y'all. We are back. We about to get our friends on here. Mr. Eddie, Miss Angela. This about to be fun, y'all. We about to learn a lot. Hey, Miss Angela. Hey, Eddie.
Hey, Joni.
Hey, what's up,
It's
y'all?
gonna be bouncing back and forth.
That's
I gotta
right.
make sure my hair is laying down.
I gotta
It's
go to another room.
Oh, it echoes.
It's curly. It's beautiful. How you doing?
I can't complain. How are you?
Man, I'm blessed. I'm good. Good.
It's not this piece right here. What is it doing?
Angela, I don't have my pass. Can I borrow your pass real quick?
Yo, let me find out y'all right next to each other.
We
Y'all,
are right next to each other.
Thank you.
But he's going in the other room because we're getting feedback.
okay. Mr. Eddie about to get us out the ghetto, y'all. What's up, Eddie?
Are we streaming already?
Man, we on. Yeah.
Oh, we
shoot.
live already. Oh man.
We live
Y'all see me?
already. Yeah. Ain't no breaks, ain't no cut, none of that.
Got it.
Yeah. So young people, y'all put your comments in, y'all put your questions. We're going to ask all y'all questions, I promise. But first, we need to get like some like formal introductions because I don't think people really know like who you guys are or what you do. And I give you a warning. These young people, they like all the tea. So like they want to know where you were born, how you came up, a little bit about some of your, struggles to get how you got to where you are. So can you give us just a little bit about yourself, Miss Angela? I guess we could start with you.
Okay. So I was born in Baltimore. I did not grow up here. My family traveled a lot when I was a little kid. So I was born here. My middle sister was born in Oklahoma. My youngest sister was born in New Orleans. So I say I grew up in Philadelphia because I went to high school in Philadelphia from about 6th grade to 12th grade. So I graduated from high school and I went to college in DC, Howard University, HU, and I majored in marketing. Graduated from school. It took me a minute to get a job coming out of school. I'm not going to lie to you, but let me go back because in the 7th grade, I went to New York to visit my cousin and I fell in love with New York. And I said, I want to live in New York when I grow up. So I thought about that when I graduated from college, and I literally flipped through Vogue magazine and applied to every retailer. At the time I was in retail, applied to every retailer in Vogue magazine, and I got a job in New York, and I moved to New York.
Wow.
Come true, very excited. And so I stayed in New York for a little bit and I worked in retail, then lived in Chicago for a minute and moved on to meeting and event planning, then moved back to New York and then moved to Baltimore. And now I'm in city government and I do community outreach for the Mayor's Office of Children and Family Success. That's the fast forward version.
Yeah, wow. So you had a little exciting little life. You've been moving around here and there and all that. That is so cool, man. I can't believe you flipped through the magazine.
Flipped in the magazine and applied to every retailer. Did not leave any stone unturned.
Creativity at its best. Like, and that's what we talk about. You getting a couple of young people saying HU.
Yes. Gotta represent.
Oh man, thank you. What about you, Mr. Eddie?
Well, I just learned something about you, Angela, so that's fun. But like Angela, I was born here in Baltimore. My journey as to how I got here actually, for me, started in the 3rd grade. I was in Gwynns Falls Elementary School, and I remember being in a writing competition. Actually, it was 2nd grade, I'm sorry, and I was in a writing competition, and the prompt was, what do you want to be when you grow up? And of course, when you're growing up, well, it was my grandmother at the time who was encouraging me to go on and be a doctor or a lawyer, because, that's what successful people do. That's a good paying job. But I remember ending that with, I don't know yet, but by the time I grow up, I will. And it was in the 5th grade that I was actually inspired by President Obama when he ran to, serve the community. I didn't have, when I would see a rapper or an athlete on TV, even though I was inspired, I didn't have the desire to be like that. But when I saw Obama and I was inspired by him, I had a desire to be like that. So I went to Connections Community Leadership Academy. It's a small charter school in West Baltimore, which gave me a plethora of opportunities. My principal at the time, she allowed me to, serve it. We didn't have an SGA, so she allowed me to serve as our student representative. They commissioned me to do our first yearbook, and I was in 8th grade at that time, and I transitioned to city, and I eventually started doing yearbooks again. I joined the Associated Student Congress of Baltimore City, which is like the district-wide student government association. And in my 12th grade year, I actually served as a student commissioner. So I represented the 85,000 students in the school district to the school board and school administration. And that was during Dr. Thornton's first year here in city schools. So after that, I went down to Atlanta for Morehouse. It was my dream school. Everybody told me my whole 12th grade year, don't go to Morehouse. Morehouse is too expensive. Like my mentors, and they were literally making laundry lists of alternative options for me. And I'm like, my dream is to go to Morehouse. So, I still pursued my dream towards Morehouse. And like they said, it was very expensive. That Morehouse and Spelman isn't really, I'm a 1st generation college student. It's really not geared towards 1st generation college students. It's more for like middle class families, which was a learning experience for me. Morehouse is like $40,000 a year. But with that being said, I'm back in Baltimore. I was asked to come back here to take on this role because of my experience in the school district for 2 years, leading the recycling program and serving as student commissioner. So now I'm the youth activation specialist. I'm excited. I help lead the youth commission and all other youth related or non-youth related stuff here in the mayor's office.
Wow. So you've always kind of been like on that fast track, like towards something productive in terms of government policy and things of that nature.
That's where I found that was my niche right there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And especially to be able to identify it so young and to really see it through and follow through. Yeah. That's an excellent example.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm only 22.
Wow. Oh, I figured you was just out of your teens when you talking about you in the 5th grade when Obama. I'm like, yo, I was at the polls.
Yeah, nope, not me. Yeah.
That is crazy. So I think most people are familiar with the mayor's office, but hardly nobody has ever heard of like the Children's Family and Success. And sorry if I butchered that, but is it true that it's a new initiative? And if so, can you guys just kind of talk us through like, what is that and why should young people care?
Angela, you want to start or do you want me to?
You go ahead.
Okay. Well, the Mayor's Office of Children and Family Success, we launched in July of 2019. And we launched because Mayor Young is very passionate about children. And we know that if we help children develop and grow, we can also reach their families. So we're all about creating an ecosystem of support for children, their families, and the youth serving organizations to ensure that our children and families are put in a position to thrive. We have so many program offerings under our umbrella, including Head Start for birth to 5-year-old youth. And then we have the African American Male Engagement Office, where we're helping with the youth from squeegee. We're connecting youth to paid opportunities during the COVID-19 relief efforts. And we also have community action partnerships, which provides water and energy assistance to families in need. So we are all about helping, developing, and ensuring that the children and families in Baltimore can thrive and live, the life that they are entitled to.
That's amazing. How did it come about? Like the whole like idea to create a whole department dedicated to like just that. And then is it true that like departments and stuff like this, it follows through each leader?
I would say that it was a vision of Mayor Young. He set up the office, and this is like Eddie said, this was something that was really important to him, making sure that families in Baltimore City could thrive. And when you say that it will continue through leadership, do you mean like a new mayor is elected?
Yeah.
I would say that we are here at the will of the mayor. So it depends upon what the priorities of the new mayor would be. But I can tell you that for Mayor Young, Baltimore City families is definitely a priority, and he is committed to allowing youth, children, and families to prosper in Baltimore City. One thing I want to add though onto Eddie's story, because this is about success, success sessions.
Yes.
So I actually was in one of the CAP centers. There are 5 community action centers in the city of Baltimore throughout the city. And when the office was established last July, we had design sessions. So our director, Miss Edwards, said, you know what, I want to go out to the community and I want to find out what the community needs in order to thrive. So in each city council district, we had a meeting. The city council representative helped us organize it. We brought in community members from all over the district, and we asked them, what do you need to thrive? We looked for the gems in each city district, and we collected all of this information and came up with a strategic framework, outlines of our strategic framework as an office. So this is an office that is absolutely positively established to serve its community. So this is my success story though. So I was at Northern CAP Center. I was a human service worker at the time. And I signed up because it was voluntary. I signed up to attend all of the design sessions. Well, I appeared at all of the design sessions, and I guess, somebody was like, what, who is this chick? Why is she at all of the design? Again, it was voluntary. And that's how I got my position here.
Wow.
So I leaned in,
Wow.
That is my success point number 1.
Showing up
and going above and beyond, because like I said, I didn't have to do it, but I was interested in it. I wanted to find out, like, again, I was born here, but I didn't grow up here. I came back here for family reasons. I didn't know Baltimore well. And for me, that was a great opportunity to get to know Baltimore and all of its different neighborhoods. I was just curious.
Yeah.
It worked out, right?
That is awesome. Jamira got a comment for you, Mr. Addy. She said, I've met Mr. Hawkins at a few events, and I like how you actually go out to the community and work. Like, you can tell how serious you are about your job.
Yes, I'm serious about my job. Thank you for that. I think this isn't just a job, it's my dream job, actually. I remember when I was student commissioner, I always wanted to be able to continue serving youth, and I didn't know exactly what that would look like beyond that point. And now here I am. So it's just a blessing. You can't take advantage of the blessings that you receive when you get them.
Absolutely. So, right, when we think about success, particularly for young people in Baltimore, like what are some of the barriers that you guys are seeing in terms of young people trying to reach success, but maybe not all the necessary things may be in place for them to be able to do that?
So I'm just going to talk about an initiative that our office is working on right now. And Ms. Joni, you know this better than probably I do. Food insecurity.
Yes.
Not being able to access nutritious food. And now that we're experiencing a pandemic, school is not open and many students are not able to get the meals that they would have if school was open. So our office is leading the charge to provide healthy, nutritious meals to families, youth, and children during this time. Probably, I want to say a week ago, it was primarily focused on grab and go food. So at the rec centers, at schools, at community-based sites, and we also have 5 mobile routes, we are distributing grab and go meals. Last week, the mayor established an emergency COVID food strategy, which encompasses even broader aspects of providing food to the community. It includes grocery boxes. So that's a 30-pound box of shelf-stable food. And we started probably distributing boxes 2 weeks ago. But now we're going to be ramping that up and distributing more boxes on a consistent basis. Also talking about the expansion of SNAP. We're also talking about incorporating urban farms and different aspects of community-based farming to the mix also. So all of that is going to play into providing nutritious meals to the community as needed, because food insecurity, as you know, it definitely can inhibit success, especially for young people as they're developing, growing both body and their brain, their minds. So that's what I would lead with.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely hit a soft spot, something near and dear to
Right?
our hearts. Yeah, for real. What about you, Mr. Eddie? What do you think of some of the barriers or challenges?
So right now, in this very present moment, is the digital divide. You know, city schools has transitioned to virtual learning. Unfortunately, some youth may say fortunately, but it's a disservice that it's unfortunate that the grades for the fourth quarter can't be any less than the average of the first 3 quarters, and then that any virtual work that's being done is extra credit. And I understand, you know, this is a transition for students, and not all of us have the ability to self-start and work independently. And that within itself is a challenge, because this virtual learning experience can be an opportunity for us to grow as professionals. You know, it's like in the real world, Joni, I don't think your boss is sitting over top of you like, are you doing your work? Are you going to make it? Are you going to get it done by the deadline? And the same thing for Angela and I. So it's a great opportunity to grow and learn as a professional, but at the same time, our youth do not have the technology that they need in order to complete the virtual learning. And there's a lack of accountability or incentive to get it done. And I'm just fearful around what post COVID-19 will look like as a result of this. So I think right now we're trying to figure out a way where we can activate and inspire youth in completing those virtual assignments so that they don't get behind, because it does make a difference.
Yeah, no, and that's a very, very important point that you hit on. And I think that this pandemic too kind of exposed just how big the gap was. It's like we already knew that it was a gap, but it's like, wow, who could have imagined that it was this big? But no, that's a great point. Jamira is 16. She says, is there a way I could get involved in the community service opportunity you talked about while in this pandemic? And can you expand just a little bit on what the opportunities may be for teenagers looking to get involved now?
So actually, we worked on a grant through Johns Hopkins. So we're applying for different grants and working with our partners to secure funds to pay youth to engage in the community to help with COVID-19 relief efforts. So we'll know about the grant opportunity that we applied for by May 5th. I think the notification deadline got pushed back to, but we have a plethora of relationships in the community, and we understand that there are staffing gaps to meet the needs of the community. So we're activating youth and putting them at rec centers. We're putting them at community giveaway drives or churches so that they can support with those efforts in a safe way. So those are the opportunities that we're curating now. But in the future, we'll be recruiting youth for the Baltimore City Youth Commission, which also falls in our office, which is a commission of youth between the ages of 14 and 21 who are comprised of all of the 14 council districts, and they represent the youth in that district to the mayor and city council. So we will be recruiting for those positions soon, and that's an opportunity to get engaged as well.
That's awesome. Could you guys talk a little bit about like what the career path could possibly look like if a young person watching this is inspired by what you guys are doing and they may want to, work in the mayor's office or do something similar?
That's an Eddie question.
That's an Eddie question.
Well,
Look, I told you how I got this job. Just showing up.
You was showing up doing it, but you know what? But that's so important too, because that's one of the things that we preach about. Like, just show up and be known, like, and people will take notice.
And I'm going to piggyback off of what Eddie just said, like volunteering or not volunteering, but helping out with the youth commission, because not only does that give you exposure, but it also sharpens your skills, public, your writing skills.
If you put in the work.
What'd you say?
I said if they put in the work.
That's true. That's true.
I don't want to.
Go in. They need this. I
just know a couple youth who, you want it. You want it really bad. People sell you on a dream. They sell you on the cars. They sell you on the houses, the clothes, the lifestyle. But nobody sells you on the work that you have to do. And I'm looking because I'm studying people who I want to be like. And you see them. Even when you look up politicians, for the most part, you see them in front of the large crowds. You see them, signing something, but you don't see them in their process around strategizing and thinking and failing. And even myself, I get into a habit where I'm scared to fail, but we forget that failure is a part of the process. In order to get where we want to be, we just have to put one foot in front of the other. And one of my favorite quotes is, it's not about what you know or who you know, it's about who knows you. And my goal for the youth that I work with is to put them in positions where they don't necessarily have to apply for a job. People are coming to them and saying, I would like for you to work with me, so, and that's really, I have so many connections around the city. So it's hard for me to say what a career path really looks like. I'm passionate about children and families. So, I may go into a school and eventually become a principal. I may explore a career in politics. I don't know. I've learned not to marry myself to one future because life happens. And, you have to be adjustable. You have to be adaptable, and you need to, not let anything hold you back from still achieving your destiny. So there's no one career path for me. I'm a serial entrepreneur, a servant leader, a community advocate. So whatever God, directs me to do, that's what I'm going to do.
I know that's right, Addie. I know that's right. They needed to hear that. They needed to hear that.
And just one last thing, one of the hardest, and speaking of, following, your destiny, one of the hardest decisions that one of the easiest decisions that I had to make in my life was going to Atlanta to go to Morehouse. One of the hardest decisions that I had to make in my life was leaving Atlanta to come back to Baltimore before I was done, getting my degree. That was my dream. But at the same time, I had this opportunity, which is also my dream. So in that case, I had to be flexible and I had to be adjustable and I had to put my ego to the side and say, well, I can get my degree, finish getting my degree here in Baltimore for free, while serving the community. So, as you get older, you realize you have to make tough choices. You just don't let anything hold you back.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to keep riding me about these ages. Jamaica, like, I'm not 16, I'm 17. Look, I call everybody 16, but Cam is 16. I think Cam is the real 16. Her question for you guys is, if you weren't doing what you're doing now, what other careers would you be doing? That's an interesting question.
Well, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, first, Angela.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, honestly, if I wasn't doing this, I probably would just be working for myself, honestly. As like I said, I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I have interests in things like the foreign exchange, real estate, consulting work. I work with a few schools around some of their initiatives. So really being a change agent in different fields, and just being a serial entrepreneur. I wouldn't necessarily be in a specific job if I wasn't here.
And is that Forex that you're talking
The foreign
about?
exchange, yeah, the foreign exchange is Forex. Are you familiar with Forex?
Yo, the scammers is out here, especially
See,
during this
so-
pandemic.
Hold on.
Because I've been looking for somebody that I trust to talk about this.
So actually, I got a 7. We'll talk, Johnny, but somebody actually did say they were worried about it being a scam, and it's not. The reason that people think that it's a scam is because it's been around since 1998, and originally only the big banks and institutions could trade on it, but now the market is open and people can go in and trade from their phone. So you can literally turn your phone from a liability to an asset by downloading one app. So people think it becomes a scam when you get into the network marketing piece, because there is a company that recruits individuals to promote their products. But even network marketing isn't a scam, because network marketing is a multi-million-dollar, if not billion-dollar business. That's what they refer to as the pyramid schemes. But the foreign exchange isn't a scam. It's bigger than the stock exchange. It's a great way to make passive income, because you got to diversify your income streams, so that there are probably hundreds of thousands of individuals who lost their jobs during this pandemic, but are still able to generate revenue from the foreign exchange. So if you don't know what you're doing, then it is a scam, because you're just losing your money. But if you're educated and you're knowledgeable about how to make your trades, then it's a source of income.
So people charging people $200 to join, that is legitimate.
So what they're charging you $200 to do is have access to an educational platform that teaches you about the foreign exchange. And then there's also a tool called the harmonic scanner that has a 90% success rate that gives you signals to put into the foreign exchange. And it's also a network, like people are buying into the community. You get signals. So I don't even have to scan the foreign exchange, and I get signals sent to my phone, and I can just copy and paste and I'll make money. People aren't necessarily buying, they're buying into the community so that they can have access to that knowledge and those tools that make you successful in the foreign exchange.
All right, so this IML Academy is a real thing.
It is a real thing. And I mean, I can't lie, I started.
You're not feeling it.
I know.
I did it my first time. The first time that I did it was last May, and I did fall off because the way a network marketing organization works is that different individuals recruit different groups of people, and all of those individuals can run their business any way they want to. So all of these individuals have their own groups. They have trade house, they have chasers, they have all of these different groups, and they all have different benefits. Some of them do daily calls to inspire their members. Some of them do daily training so that you can practice trading with a trader who has experienced great success. They do all types of stuff. So IML Academy is a learning platform, but what people are doing is bumping up the offer of $200 with the network piece so that it is more enticing. I guess it's like a business approach or a marketing approach that they're taking to make them feel like they're getting more money for their dollars.
Yeah, Miss Angela, I'm sorry about that. The only reason I asked you about that is because I know real life kids right now who have spent their food and living money on this Force scam. And it's like, come on, man.
I want to know who they spent their money with.
With people who ain't no farther than where they at. I'm like, it's one thing to have somebody who's, you know, successful in doing it and really trying to show you, but what I don't like trying to get rich off of poor folks' backs. You already know that these kids don't have no money. Why are you charging them $200 and some for something? If anything, give them the knowledge, let them make their own decisions, and then after they started making some money, if you want to charge, go ahead. But man, they got our kids out here spending their food money, chasing something that ain't never really going to help them build or be successful. But I trust you. That's the only reason why I asked you, because I'm like, all right, you know what? I do trust you. And if you say
you gotta be consistent,
then maybe.
It's definitely something. Well, first of all, if you are trading in foreign exchange, you shouldn't be giving anybody like the money to trade for you. You can put the money into your broker account because you need a broker to actually trade. So you shouldn't be giving anybody unless you're investing in IML, because you know you're going to spend the time to learn about the trading strategies and the approaches and what the foreign exchange is. But like any other thing that you purchase, well, not any other thing, because some of us purchase shoes and I think about it, but with any other investment that you make, you have to do your due diligence. That's one of the things that our executive director talks about all the time, is doing your due diligence to make sure what you're getting into or what you're presenting actually makes sense. So if you got to spend 2 hours a day practicing foreign exchange and you know you're not going to do that for 2 hours, then don't get into it. If you know you're not going to copy and paste the signals when they come to your phone so that you can make money, then don't get into it. But if any of your youth want to talk about that, or if you know,
we might have to have a part 2 on that, just so that way, because I would rather them have whatever the real knowledge is and don't just go off at me because I say it's a scam. But if it's somebody that can say, you know, this is what it is, and make educated decisions, I'm all for that. Absolutely.
This is the last thing I'm gonna say about that though. Somebody did. I was like, well, maybe we should tell the people maybe we should teach the people who we're trying to impact how to actually get started. You know, and then somebody said to me, no, we don't do that, because then if we do that, then they don't need us. So I think that the mindset in the IML network is kind of jacked up. So like I said, you got to find the right person and the right organization for you that's going to give you value and contribute to your success before you even invest any money. And that's what real business owners do. They give you value before you invest any money, so that the person who's spending money is more inclined to do it. And then they'll be willing to pay you at a higher rate because they feel like, oh, he already gave me something in advance. But
exactly. Yeah, we definitely got to get you back. I'm so sorry, Miss Angela. I'm so sorry. But I've been dragging a couple of kids through the mud over that thing right there. Like, why would you put your money there? Like, you might be better off paying me. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I would say too, you never want to put your last money into something that you don't know that that's a guaranteed return.
Exactly. So I'm sorry, Miss Angela. I do want to get your answer. If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing? And then I think we got a couple more questions too from the young people.
So I told you before in my intro that I used to do meeting and event planning, which allowed me to travel a lot. And I do enjoy traveling. So I would try to combine traveling with helping people. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what the name of that career is, but more like international helping people career.
Okay. You like to be all over the place.
I do.
Yeah.
I like to experience different things and stuff going on in the world. So
I feel you. That's how I was before I got locked down in community service. I feel you.
It does lock you down.
Yeah. Oh, it locks you down. You got to stay put. Miss Waddell, since you said that you got the job and more into what you do by showing up and doing the work, what advice would you give someone on trying to keep pushing forward?
I would say, I think the most important thing is to do your very best work. Like whatever you're doing, don't think about necessarily what's in it for me in the short term, but I would think about it in terms of how can I sharpen my skills? What can I learn from this? Because I firmly believe everything, and I'm talking about everything, has negatives and positives. And if you focus on the negative, you can make a decent situation seem like the worst situation ever. But if you focus on the positives and what you can get out of it and what you can learn from it, then I think you get a positive situation or you get a positive experience. So that's number one. Number two, I would say also always lean in. What could you do a little bit extra? What could I do a little bit better? How can I go that next step or that extra mile to sharpen my skills and to contribute? Because I think that people that contribute and make somebody else's life easier, like your boss's life easier, or you contribute ideas to make a project better, those are the people that people want around, you know? Always got to be perceived, like contribute, be of value. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes sense because I got somebody on here and I asked them to contribute and they still haven't contributed.
You've always got to be of value. And then last one, and then I'm gonna get off of my soapbox, is follow through. Do what you say. If you are expected or if you have been hired to do X, Y, and Z, always deliver on your word because your word is your bond. So yeah, if you say you're gonna be on time for work, you're gonna be a little early because you're gonna go that extra mile. Yeah. If you're gonna deliver something, but look, if you're gonna deliver something by a deadline, you're gonna have it ready a little bit before the deadline because you're gonna you're gonna exceed expectations. Again, going that extra mile. So yeah. And let me just tell you, I didn't even know that this job existed. So it is really important to also, last one, I swear, it is really also important to do your best work regardless of who is looking at you. You do it for yourself. You do your best work every time. You put your best foot forward every time because of yourself. Not because who's looking for you or who has expectations outside of yourself, but because of you. And this is the standard that I have for myself.
Right.
Now I'm going to get off my soapbox.
No, we need to build you a bigger soapbox because you're the definition of success sessions. This is exactly what they need to hear because now Miss Joni not crazy.
No, you're not crazy. But the other thing I want to piggyback on what Eddie said about distance learning, remote learning. I find that, and I'd like to ask your audience a question. How is it going for you? How is remote learning going for you? Because that is the essence of stepping up to the plate and delivering without somebody behind you. It's you taking care of your business so that you can graduate from high school or, you know, make it advance to the next grade or whatever. So I would love to know how distance learning is going for the youth in the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about a 15-second delay with the live, but once those comments start coming in, I'm going to let you know because that's a great point and something that we talk about often. Like, you got to do it for you.
You've got to do it for you. Because if you try to do it for somebody else, you're always going to fall short.
Yeah, no, I love it. We need to build you a bigger soapbox. because because these are the type of lessons that carry you regardless of what career, regardless of what obstacle, regardless of what happens around you. Like those are the type of things that's going to get you through. So I appreciate that.
And you know what, you said something, or you made me think of something too. Finding a mentor is very helpful. So if you don't know the way, find somebody who does know the way. And Eddie mentioned, you know, look for people who already know, and ask for their advice, do what they're doing, and find out what works well. Don't be afraid to take risks. You might fail, but then you get back up and you try again. I love stories about successful people who, I think it was Colonel Sanders, like he tried to sell his chicken recipe to like, I don't know how many different people, and everybody said no, and he kept pushing through. I love stories like that.
That's amazing. Wait, we starting to get some comments coming in. Lene said, the virtual learning is not enough. And teachers even complain saying that they can't teach what we need, and it's frustrating, but it is easier to turn into work.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that she's turning in the work though, because some schools don't have like very high completion rates, right? They're not turning it in. So it's good to hear.
Online learning is a little frustrating, but it's getting me started and teaching me more about responsibility. Like, I don't know, it's preparing me for college, definitely, because no one is going to tell you to go and get it.
Nobody's going to tell you to go to class. Nobody's going to tell you to do your homework when you're in college. So it is definitely preparing you for college.
And this one says, yeah, it's definitely preparing you, especially with math and English when you need one-on-one contact. Get up and go to class in the real world. You got to do it yourself.
Yes.
They agree. Yeah, keep your comments and stuff coming if y'all have. Ken wants to know, what's an experience that has made a big impact and helped to shape who you are today? That's a great question.
I think for me, it was going to New York, because I wanted that in my soul, in my being. I just wanted that. And I did whatever it took to get there and to do what I wanted to do. Again, I started my career out of college in retail buying. I was an assistant buyer, and that is what I wanted to do. So going to New York was my dream. And to make it come true, it just made me know early on that anything was possible.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Addie?
So when you asked that question, it made me think back. So 2016, I remember my mother had got me a one-way ticket to Atlanta. And we got the ticket before confirming that everything financially was done at school. And I think this is the first time I'm telling this story. I haven't even really told it to my mother, but so I went down to Atlanta. It wasn't financially secured. So I didn't have a room assigned. I ended up staying with one of my close friends who was an RA. Luckily, he had a room to himself, and I could stay in the extra bed that he had. But 2 or 3 weeks into the semester, once the deadline hit for finances to be in, I didn't have the money, so I wasn't enrolled. So now I'm in Atlanta. I'm there. I'm supposed to be in school. I'm not in school. Borderline homeless, like I'm squatting with one of my friends in a dorm that one of the deans could come in and be like, well, why are you here? And what do you know? And I gotta go. And he potentially, lose his position. So that experience of going to Atlanta and not being able to secure the money for school like I had to, I think that really helped make me into the person that I am now, because I had multiple options at that point. I could come back home to Baltimore to stay with my parents, my grandmother and my mother. I I could stay in Atlanta and make the best out of that situation and try to get back in school the next semester. So I stayed. I have a foundation, the Hawkins Foundation, that I focused on during that time where we were recruiting and training mentors. So I was still on campus. I was very active on campus. I don't know how many of my classmates knew I wasn't enrolled in school, but I was recruiting them as mentors. I was training them and sending them over to high schools to mentor. I was building relationships with the local counselors and bringing high school students to Morehouse, Clark, and Spelman so that they can experience it. That experience actually is what helped propel me to the next level so that I could be prepared for this job, because everything that I was doing in Atlanta for the youth, I'm, ultimately trying to do here. So I guess, and I talked about this earlier, you have to be adaptable and you have to, be able to just go with whatever comes your way and make the best out of any situation. So that experience is what I would say has made me. That's the first time I was homeless, and a whole nother, I wasn't really homeless. I had a place to lay my head, but just knowing that anybody could walk in at any time and be like, you gotta go. That's yeah. So I just had so many angels, like the cafe, her name was Miss Tammy, in the cafeteria. The way that I was making money during that time was writing resumes online. So I didn't have too much free money, but they would let me into the cafe and to eat for free. Even when I did get back in school and I didn't have a meal plan, she still looked out for me. So, it's all about those relationships. Again, it's not about what you know, who you know, it's about who knows you, because she knew me, and because the guy who let me stay in his room knew me, I was able to get the resources that I needed to maintain, to stay on that path. So that's
awesome. Definitely the definition of making something out of nothing. Like, wow, that's amazing. A few more comments about the online learning. Online is more frustrating because I can't get the same help I need. When I need help, I get really frustrated, especially with APUSH. I keep up going to classes. The ones I need the help with the most are my biggest struggle right now. It's also so stressful thinking about having AP tests in a couple of weeks. It's hard for me with the class. I struggle in APUSH. It gets extremely frustrating and challenging. For some reason, the workload is becoming more, but now we have nothing but time to do it.
Are there any other resources like outside of the Baltimore City Public School Network that are available? So like for tutoring, or if they have questions and they can't get the response that they're not getting the response that they need? I don't know. I'm kind of asking.
Yeah, let us know, y'all, if y'all know. We got our tutor that comes on.
Maybe we would do they have any ideas as to how we could, and I'm actually asking y'all, so do y'all have any ideas as to how we could support you all in making digital learning more engaging, or making it more user friendly? Like, what is it, what recommendations do you have, if you can give any recommendation to Dr. Santelisa's or Mayor Young around making distance learning, or just general COVID-19, the experience that we're having right now, better for youth? What would it be?
Y'all hear him? Hey, drop them comments. Y'all need to load him up on that. He's asking for your recommendations. And he ain't asking just to ask. He's asking because he wants to do something about it. So
this is what we do. This is our office. So let us know.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
We're working on it. We're working on it as we speak, literally.
As we speak.
We trying to get, well, I mean, once we get off the phone, we'll be working on it again. We're meeting every afternoon, every morning. We're touching bases around, what are we hearing on the ground? What are principals saying? What are teachers saying? What are students saying? What are they saying in other cities and other states? And what can we do here in Baltimore to make it better? And unfortunately, we don't have the answers. The only people who have the answers are the youth. The
Yeah,
youth are directly impacted by this.
I
yeah.
would love to share our email address. So if somebody has any ideas or any feedback, we would love to receive it. Also, I encourage you guys to follow us on social media, Be More Children. And then our website, if you'd like our newsletter, you can either email us, because you'll make our email addresses available to the group, hopefully. And then
Yeah.
you can sign up for our newsletter to hear what's going on in the community as it relates to the Mayor's Office of Children and Family Success. But yeah, we would love to create a community with young people, because you are who we serving. You are who we are serving. So
Absolutely. So I will make a post after this. I'll put your emails on there, and then also the Instagram that you guys tag, and they can contact you guys directly.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. 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 All right,
And-
we're getting some.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. And I'm
I was
gonna
just
get to some of
say,
these.
as Eddie said, right now we are trying to, one thing I like about this job is we take problems that are facing a large population of people, and we try to come up with solutions. And we don't know all of the answers, so we're asking you to help us.
Y'all hear it. Y'all hear it.
I
Load
don't
them
have
up.
no hair. I can't pull out my hair. I can't get a real good grip on my hair. So please help us, yo.
Y'all hear? If anything, I could say that it could be better is like having teachers who are actually active doing learning. I would have teachers who are more interesting. Teachers should have all at least once. Come on, y'all. The typos, man. Teachers should have at least one call a week and not just uploading assignments on Khan Academy. Like for math classes, we need actual explanations, because when stuff starts, we are going to be lost. Overall, just teachers who are also active in teaching while we are learning online. Everyone talks about how bad the school system was before distance learning. It's way worse now. I feel like the whole BCPS needs to reflect on this and hire flexible teachers who can do both. Wow, y'all giving the teachers a lot of heat.
Yeah.
Hey, if it's real though, y'all keep it coming.
But I also think that we have to focus on solutions. So if you're not getting what you need from one place, in my opinion, where else can you go? Because I know the library has a homework helpline. I wouldn't be afraid to reach out to somebody who is an expert in the area that you need help in. So you definitely don't want to let something hold you back. Figure out something else. Email myself, Eddie, and we can help you think through it. But yeah. Loss is real. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but every summer when children are out of school, there's a little bit of learning loss that takes place. And then the teachers have to kind of get you back up to speed in the first few months of the new year. So curious to know, and I don't think anybody knows as of right now, how that's going to pan out during the pandemic when children are responsible for their own learning during this period when, closed. So
yeah. And like, do you guys focus more on like processes that have to be put into place in order to make things better, or like are you actually involved in like the hiring and recruitment and stuff like that when it comes to education?
So we're not involved in hiring or anything for education. So we're not going to, that is Baltimore City Public Schools totally. What we do is more of, we look at policy, we convene partners, we look at resources and utilize those tools to improve lives for children and families. Eddie can talk a little bit about Kerwin and what we've done around that. But yeah, we kind of, so basically when we get feedback, we're going to look at it and say, all right, let us put together a plan that how we can support Baltimore City Public Schools, how we can support students. But no, we wouldn't We don't hire. Mm-mm.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. We got about 2 minutes left. Mr. Addy, can you give us like the down and dirty on the Kerwin? Because some people might not be, fully versed on what it is or why it's important to them.
So the current recommendations are over the last 3 or 4 years, they've been advocating for an increase of $4 billion, about $4 billion in education funding. It's a very touchy topic because, of course, some people don't want city or state resources going to education being taken from, public safety. But on the other hand, the Kerwin Commission is advocating that by investing $4 billion into education, we'll be building a better workforce. And within the next generation, about I think 30 years, when the first class graduates, we'll have a strong economy, we'll have more people working. That's pretty much the Kerwin recommendations in a nutshell. But with all of the COVID-19 things that's going on with budget issues, we don't necessarily know what the next steps for Kerwin are. It has been passed by the Senate and the House of Delegates, and it needs to be signed by the governor. So we should know if he's going to sign it or let it pass as a law without his signature, because that can happen. He cannot sign it, and since it's already been approved by the House and the Senate, it can just go through and become a law. So we'll see. We'll see soon what actually happens with the current recommendations.
Yeah, that's some great stuff. That's some great stuff. Thank you both so much. So the last question that every guest gets is, what jewel are you leaving us with? You gotta leave us with some kind of jewel.
So my jewel is, the best way to predict the future is to create it. What can you do today to get you to where you want to be in the future? And you should think about that every day. You should do a little something every day to get you to where you want to be.
Awesome.
And then mine is a quote by Buddha: "What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract, and what you imagine, you create." And I'm telling you, Joni, and everybody else on here, the law of attraction is real.
It is real.
I strongly believe that I'm in this position because, I thought about this and I meditated and I wanted it since I was in high school, since I was in middle school. So whatever you want, as long as you constantly are working towards and thinking about it, as you vibrate, things vibrate into you. So just whatever you want, understand that it's going to be a process, and know that you have to think positively and just overcome any challenges that you face so that you can get to your final destination.
Yes. Thank you both so very much.
No
So
problem.
powerful.
Thank you.
This
Yes,
is awesome.
I was so excited about joining you, Joni. Yes, when I watch your episodes, I'm like, this is so funny. I'd be so distracted.
Oh, thank you so much.
No problem. Keep up the great work. We appreciate
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And we appreciate you guys. We'll definitely have to do like a part 2 or something, because they want to know more about that Forex crap too.
Don't forget, audience, youth, follow us.
Yes.
Email us. Let's connect.
We're gonna have a photo shoot soon. So I'm gonna send that information over to you. Some of your youth may be on the side of buses or on billboards, so we want to get some pictures too.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We there. We already there. Count us in.
All right. Perfect.
Thank you.
Right.
Take care.
Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Powerful conversations, y'all. 2 amazing guests. I can't be more happier with those 2, and that they are in the mayor's office representing us. We had a good time, man. And they dropped jewel after jewel after jewel after jewel. Some of the stuff that we be fussing about, man, they set up here and just confirmed everything that we be saying. So it was a good situation. And especially how Miss Angela was like, she didn't even apply for her job. Like her job wasn't even a job. Just the fact that she showed up, the fact that she showed initiative, the fact that, you know, just she was there. Like people take notice of that and being able to do the little things first. And I know I was writing the other half of It's Never Gonna Work earlier, but like this is why. Like, yo, do the small things first. How is somebody ever gonna trust you with the big things if you're not even doing the small things and if you're not even showing up? Like, show your face. Like, it's not enough to just sit there and watch. You gotta actually get in the game, man. Oh, Mira, I'm with you. For scam is still a scam. I'm going to hear what he got to say because I respect him and I trust him. But you can even hear how he was talking. He was saying, you know, like the actual process, it is something real. But the stuff that people are building around it, these academies and these networks and the crack that people building around it, like that's the scam part, because that's where people are trying to take your money and ain't really doing nothing for you. So, like, yeah, absolutely. It's definitely still a scam. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But we're going to bring them back and we're going to talk it out and we can get some real legit information. Hey, Miss Mo.
Hey,
What's up? How you doing?
good. How are you?
Good, 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 good. I can't complain at all. Your girl, Jamira, been with us all morning. Did you talk to her or something?
No, I haven't talked to her like in the last couple of days. Talked to her last
Yo,
week.
she showed up. Her little light turned on and everything. Like, yo, she asked some great questions. She had some great comments. Like, she been engaged the whole morning. Like, I'm like, okay, Mira is back. Crawled out that little grave.
I peeped. Hey, Mira. Oh, she's still here. Hey.
That's what I'm saying. I can't believe it.
God, I can't believe it.
That's what I'm saying. I can't believe it. Mira doing the cam today. Just successful all day.
Hey, y'all. Oh my goodness. Man, y'all love to call me out like right now though. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Hey Kim, hey Lene, hey Mira.
Look, if you ain't texting back, just tell her. Like, yo,
I
this
don't
way
know
she
if I
need to
did.
be.
I thought I did.
You know
though.
you didn't. You don't be texting people back, yo.
Whoa.
I'm not saying you don't text me back. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you
I
don't
didn't
text me
say
back.
that either. I didn't say that either. I text people back. I do.
Y'all crazy.
I definitely do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I did not reply to you. I really did think that we had a conversation, but it's okay. It's fine. I'm sorry. I apologize if I have wronged anybody on this live right now.
You is all good. Yo, them tests, them tests, y'all, them tests was so interesting. You know whose was the most interesting to me? Taylor.
Taylor, yeah. I saw
Because
Taylor.
hers said that she was basically almost 100% with like what was it, like
Mercy.
empathy, mercy,
Having
yeah,
mercy. Mm-hmm.
but real low on giving. I'm like, yo, how you got all this mercy, but you ain't giving nobody nothing?
You should have said, oh my goodness, have mercy. How you gonna say, oh, you have all this mercy, but you're not giving? How you gonna tell her that?
Yo,
they all
give. I'm like, what in the world? Ma is knocking on the door. Am I supposed to let him in?
Yeah, let him in.
All right. What you mean, Cam? I'm next for what?
For
back
what?
to back with the hoop earrings. Oh no, baby. Never. You'll never see that.
Oh, just pop him in real quick.
Never.
I'm just playing. Hey, Mar.
Hey, Ma.
Hey,
Ain't nobody seen you in a minute, yo. You got promoted. We know you a manager now. That's how it be, yo. When the manager get promoted, the manager be gone, yo. You don't see the manager no more.
Yeah.
Done growed up. got the bling bling and everything.
No.
Is that
This watch.
is that a Bluetooth in your answer?
Yeah, it's a Raycon Bluetooth.
Yo,
Oh, okay.
wow, my
Yes.
man's leveling up. Yo,
Use us.
leveling up. Jordan is knocking. Should I let Jordan in?
Let Jordan in.
Yo is leveling up.
Yes, more.
I know that's right. Good to see you,
Be out here.
General. Hey, Jordan,
Hey, Miss Shawnee.
what's
How
up?
are you?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You growing up. When your voice get that deep? Yo.
I
Sounded like a
woke up not too
homegrown
long
man.
ago.
Yes, you sound like a whole grown man. Like, what is the problem?
I just
All
woke up
that
not too long
dirt
ago.
on your chin too. This is crazy. Y'all getting too old. I'm not gonna recognize y'all by the time we get out of
You
quarantine.
sound like a grandma. Joey.
Right, basically. Yeah, because it's crazy. You don't see all that he got right there?
I see it. I see it. I definitely see it.
I wasn't ready.
Listen, quarantine going to produce grown men, apparently. Grown men and grown women. That's
Basically.
crazy. Hey,
Yeah.
y'all.
Hey,
Mar,
Hey.
we got your full attention, sweetie, or you doing something else?
Oh, the manager
Um,
multitasking.
yeah, got my full attention.
Okay, I mean, it's fine. I just want to know. All right, y'all. So y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're continuing the letters because they both told me that they wanted to read their letters on a session. So they're gonna read their letters. I'm gonna let Mar go first because he said that he has class at 12:30, and I'm not gonna be the reason that you miss class. So I'm gonna let him go first. And then we just gonna get it started. Okay? Y'all ready?
We reading our past letters.
You reading all of them.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But you can you can start. You just read the past one. Both of y'all can read your past one, and then we'll talk about it. And then you can read your present, and we'll talk about it. Unless Mar, you don't think you're gonna have time to do it, and you want to read your whole
I think I got time.
one. Okay. All right. So let's go.
So, all right. Past self. All right. People doubted you, and they still do. People called you mean, disrespectful, and crazy. They used you. They threw you off your spot. Made your smile turn into a frown. Stop letting people get to you more. Your smile in your mind is bright enough to light up the room. Why you be so impatient? When you want things, you want it right now. Nobody heard the cries and the screams. Nobody knows how bad life was when you was living in the streets, trying to find a way and trying to find support from your friends at school. I wanted all the attention because I felt like I had no attention at home. No more peer pressure. Follow your golden path. Be successful and work towards your goals. But that was never on my mind. People came to talk to us at school every single day and told us how bright and smart we can be. But I never listened. I chose the wrong path. And it's time for me to uplift myself. What is
Thank
it?
you, Mar, for sharing that. Thank you so much. Like I said, we're gonna go to Jordan's part, and then we're gonna talk about like how that felt for y'all to write that part to yourselves. So go ahead, Jordan.
okay. So it says, Dear Jordan, I know things are pretty nice right now and also pretty hard to understand. I want you to know that things won't always be nice and things won't always be confusing. But I encourage you to look at the brighter side of things when the mood is low. I encourage you to learn when you can't quite understand something, whether that's your education or a negative or a positive situation. Most of all, keep your head high because your future is definitely bright. It was kind of brief, but yeah.
Brief is fine. Brief but powerful, so it's absolutely fine. Okay, so Mar, And Miss Joni, feel free to jump in whenever you want to. But Mar, can you still hear me? Us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I had
Okay,
to go
cool.
do something.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure you could still hear us. How did it feel to write that part to
On
your
my
past
letter.
self? Hmm.
Um, it felt good. Um, I had to do some deep thinking. Because um, I'm not really a person that like look upon my past. I guess. I'm not that type of person to like look back at it or whatever. Um, so it was a lot of deep thinking, and it was hard for me to write it because it's a bunch of things that I never told nobody about back then, like in middle school, elementary school, and people say that I was always mean and stuff and disrespectful, but they never like do the reason why I was disrespectful and mean.
Thank you for sharing that for real. And for both of y'all, but just in general, like just recognize like the amount of confidence and the amount of like courage that it takes to get up on here and read like your personal like letters, and just like share it with everybody. So I definitely appreciate you both for being willing and reaching out to me and saying, Miss Morgan, I want to read my letter. So thank you so much for being able to do that. Yeah. Jordan, how did it feel for you to write that letter to your past self?
Um, well, it definitely made me think about like my past because I definitely was a kid who um, definitely didn't fully understand everything, and I think I really tried hard to understand a lot of what my parents were going through, as well as my sisters, and I think I was just like try to be really understanding, even though I didn't really know the full picture of what was going on. And so uh, I think kind of having gone through that, it gave me even more of a better understanding now because uh, I've always kind of carried that like wanting to know a certain situation or wanting to know a certain thing, whether it be anything. So yeah.
Thank you, Jordan. Ms. Joni, did you want to ask anything of either of them or both of them?
Well, I just first want to say, like, thank you both for such powerful and strong and like honest letters. Like to me, I see a whole lot of growth in just both of you guys, in terms of, like where you started and where you are now. And the fact that you can be this real and this transparent is definitely inspiring for me. So I just want to say thank you.
All right. Mar, go ahead and read your letter to your present self, and then Jordan, go
All
ahead
right.
and follow and do the same.
All right. So, dear present self, you did great so far taking care of yourself, eating healthy, doing more exercises, and doing more work. And you started being more positive and make an impact upon the youth. You made some great choices. You took you took your chance to believe in God, and you took your chance to make something happen. Because I didn't write this whole thing, so I'm gonna skip to the end. Um, you became more positive and all right, this song. All right, I'm not gonna read it, so I'm just gonna say it off my head. All right. So dear present self, you made an impact. You're more positive. Um, you take chances and you build yourself up when you're going through things in school. You have a voice. You need to use it more. Um, you start participating in more programs and participating in more stuff involving like educational wise or business. Um, Mar, you've been such a great person to everybody. Mar, um you did a fantastic job, leading leading youth town halls, doing like things that normal teens would never do. Um, and you can be like a leader and you can like, show off your talents. Um, be more grateful, be more grateful for the things you have. Um, yeah, that's it. And oh yeah, and achieve your dreams and follow the road you want to go to. Don't stop. Don't look back. Keep working and be keep working and be what's that word I'm looking for? I'm gonna say strive. Just keep striving towards your goal. Because there's a lot of goals that I had in my mind, and like I feel like I'm working towards my goals, but I feel like I'm not working enough. And the same thing with praising God and the Lord and stuff like that. Because now I know that I just started my new program called Spiritual Sundays every Sunday, and I know like I talk about God and stuff like that and what He has done for me, and a lot of people that are on Spiritual Sundays be talking about it too. But I feel like I don't praise Him enough. If that makes sense, I feel like I don't worship Him enough because I feel like it's not an everyday thing, but I always like contribute and I always talk to God. But sometimes you know how you always don't feel like you're doing enough and you feel like you need to do more. So yeah, and that's what I want to do. I want to make a positive impact on everybody in HeartSmiles and even in my home in my community. And I want to just do something that works for the best of everybody. And yeah, basically, yeah. So that's my presence.
Thanks, Mar. And thank you for the improv too. I appreciate it. But no, honestly, that's part of this whole kind of letter thing because you sometimes people write them down and physically write them in front of them. Sometimes people like literally just kind of talk to themselves. So I appreciate both perspectives and thank you for sharing. Jordan, go ahead and share yours,
Okay.
please.
So it says, Jordan, I know you're going through quite a lot right now, but you have to understand that you'll get through these hard times regarding friends, family, and yourself. You have people who definitely love you. Know that not everything will go how you hope it will. Not everything can be solved in the same way. You really just have to understand that regardless of the darker side of things, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. Keep fighting and keep striving because people that love you wouldn't want you to quit, and you yourself should not quit.
Thank you, Jordan. Very powerful, very motivational to both of y'all, really. Both of you, your parts are very motivational. Ms. Joni, did you have anything you wanted to ask them right now?
Yeah, I just got a quick question. If we doing questions right now, or you want me to save it?
Um, Go ahead and save it. Well, no, because Mar gotta go in like 13 minutes. So you can ask this one question right now.
Oh, all right. This one question, because I think that it's very like powerful how both of you guys and your letters are showing that you reflected and that now you kind of arrived at a more positive place or at a better place. Like, what would you say to people who are like around your age who don't see that light at the end of the tunnel, or they still feel like they drowning or stuck in like whatever situation, and they don't see how being reflective is like useful or helpful? Like, what kind of advice would you give to somebody like that?
I would personally say that like for me, I've come to learn that like not every situation is going to be bright, obviously. So I will let them know that like that's the case, but that should like I feel like that should be no reason for them to kind of continue to fall in that situation because there are so many things that are right as well. There are so many things that are positive, and there's so many things that are good. And I know that I've had a few friends who feel like they can't really trust people, feel like they'll always be betrayed. And I get that if you go through that enough, then they'll start to stick. But I feel like it should be understood that not everyone's the same, because if everyone's the same, then the world would be kind of upsetting. So I would say kind of understand your limits, and kind of understand like what can get you down, and take that and kind of turn it into something that'll I guess be good, and kind of turn it into something that'll I guess turn into positive, because if you constantly make everything a negative, then more often than not, that'll just kind of continue to circle around your mindset. So yeah.
I'll say like it's okay to be different. Um, Always show yourself like self-love and self-care no matter what. That's the first thing for anything. Self-care and self-love. Appreciate yourself more. Because a lot of people they down themselves because the things that people say. So basically hold yourself accountable and work with people that's gonna be there for you. Like not your whole life, but like in that immediate time. Not only that, um help yourself out by doing self-thinking or self-learning. You can do that on Google or YouTube. Um, yeah, I think pretty much those like two sites you can pick on. And you can also help yourself get prepared for things that's coming your way. Now, some things are like it comes unexpected, like this coronavirus. Um, Always have a plan A and plan B. But me personally, I always work towards my plan A no matter what happens, because plan B, I feel like I'm down in myself even more because I ain't worked hard enough to do plan A. So appreciate yourself, love yourself, and think a lot, because not a lot of people use that, and a lot of people will just like, oh, I just give up. I'm not gonna think about it. See, me personally, I've been doing work and on class, like I'm just doing Google Classroom and stuff. And sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to do this work no more. But I think about where I want to be in my future life, like going to an HBC college and being an entrepreneur. So I know that in order to me, like to get to that point, I need to work hard now, no matter what. You can't like just be lazy and work hard later, because the effort is not paying off at all. So that's what I say to myself, or say it to anybody that's my
Thank y'all for your answers. No, I like what both of y'all said. I like both of your perspectives um, on that particular answer. Can I answer the question too?
Yeah, please, because you still technically youth. So
every time, like you can just
no, no, for real, because it's helpful, because even like me and Miss Simone was talking about this earlier. Like young people, we always telling them to think about your future, think about your future, but like sometimes they can't see themselves at 30 or 35 years old, but they can see themselves at 20 something, because that's like right around the corner. So like definitely having a younger perspective is important, because just like how Ma said, you think you can skate around being lazy right now and you're just going to be able to turn it on. It don't work like that. You ain't going to be able to just turn it on. Like it got to already be running.
yeah, definitely. And I was just gonna say, like, when you're in like that dark place or in that like sinking place, not sunken place, sorry, not sunken place, but when you're in that dark place, it's really hard to imagine, I guess, what it looks like on the other, like on the outside. But just recognize like everything like has a time limit, right? So like focus, we always say like don't focus on the things you can't control, and that's absolutely like a thing that you should do. You should focus on the things that you can control, identify those things, change them if you do not like them, literally and physically, like change them. And then like the things that you can't change, okay, find a way around them. Like it's just everything has a time limit. So if you're in that dark place, you're not gonna be in that dark place forever unless you keep yourself there. So just recognize everything has a time limit. Some things you can immediately change, and some things will just go away with time. So that's my answer to that. But yeah, Mara, go ahead and start us off with the letter to your future self. Unless your face. You got it, honey? You got it?
Yeah,
You ready?
I was waiting for this. All right.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Dear future self, I want you to be the best you can be. I want you to be prepared for everything that hits your way. I want you to be positive. I want you to learn more. I want you to even, I want you to prepare yourself for the good and bad things. I want you to be a child of God. I want you to be so sincere. I want you to be unique. I want you to praise the Lord and accept the Lord into your life even more. Don't give up and achieve your dreams. I want you to achieve the dreams that your mother always wanted and that was seen. Um, achieve the dreams that your mother always wanted, but she couldn't do it because the route she went on. Don't follow the same route that anybody else go on. Do you and be yourself. And please hold yourself accountable through anything and everything. And that's my future self.
Accountability. I love it. I love it.
Are you gonna be a minister?
Sound like it. We got a pastor.
I think he is.
We got a pastor, a minister, a deacon, and something. A usher. You wanna be an usher too?
Are you
got the
really
whole
thinking
church.
about that though?
You know, like preaching and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that been a thought, but yeah.
No, I definitely see it in you, and even just the way that you talk. Like, don't no 14-year-old talk about being closer to God and accepting Him more into your life. Like, no, you talking like an elder. You sound like one of my aunts. Like,
No, yeah, you do. I have to agree with Miss Joni with that, because literally in all of your speech, every conversation that I've had with you, Mara, lately, you're always bringing up like the spirit of God and like how He's showing you the way, and like, yeah, that's how pastors talk. That's how leaders of a flock, leaders of a flock talk. So no, I think you should. If that's something that you want to do, you definitely should do it. He already started with
and I
spiritual
don't even go
Sundays.
to church, but when you get us, I'll visit you on your family and friends Sunday.
Not family and friends.
Oh,
Not family and friends. Oh my goodness. Anyway, he getting his start in his practice with spiritual Sundays, so he leading that. All right, Jordan, go ahead and read yours.
Okay. So, dear Jordan, I'm not sure what you're going through and I'm not sure what you're doing in the future, but whatever it is, I hope it's amazing. You have a lot of talent in you and it shows with the things you know best. By then, I hope you've learned to move past the negative and learn to embrace the positive more, because no matter what, you should never give up on your passion. I hope you have a family and that you're teaching your kids well. I hope they grow up to be even better than you, because I'm sure you want to see them exceed.
Yeah, Jordan. Thank you for sharing, Jordan. It's interesting. For this is like a personal thing. It's interesting for me to hear y'all like say your future selves and then talk about your families, because that's very like your own like families that you like created. It's very interesting and very just like it brings joy in my heart to hear that. But then I'm also like, dang, Mary, you ain't say nothing about family in your in your future letter. But no, it's just I really appreciate that kind of reflection for that. All right, y'all. So y'all read y'all whole letters. Before Mar has to go, Mar, did you want to say anything to Jordan? As far as like encouraging him, or like what you liked from his lesson? I mean, not lesson, from his letter, or had a question about it. And then Jordan, if you could do the same with Mar, and then me and Miss Joni can do it as well if you want to.
Um, something I liked about Jordan Leonard is like he was so bold and he said like what he feels and what's off his head, and that's what I like about his letter. I feel like he has like a personality of that person that's calm, but like how I say it, like a calm person that actually like speak their heart out, honestly. And that's what I like about Jordan Leonard, and I like how he's always that type of person to talk about things that's like going on in his personal life and what he want to do to change it, and how did it affect him. So that's all.
Can you repeat like the question?
Yeah. So did you have any questions for Mar, or anything that you
No,
wanted to
no, no.
say?
I was
Oh,
asking Mara's question. It was like a question at the end. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I
Did
didn't
you
hear
have a?
nothing.
I was saying, did you ask a question at the end?
Oh no, I have no questions.
Oh, okay. Um, well, I would like to say for Mars that I really enjoyed hearing how, even though he went through a lot, and there were times where he felt down, he was still able to move forward and continue to strive, like you said, because I know a lot of people who wouldn't be able to kind of get out of a situation like that. So I think it's really powerful that that's how he feels, and that he even showed that and was willing to express that. So yeah, I think that was really cool.
Thank you, Jordan.
You're welcome.
I like when Miss Mo smiles.
thanks, Mar. Listen, y'all be cracking me up, but y'all really do be making my day. Like, I feel like all of us may say that, especially when we get up on here. But y'all really do, especially when y'all are talking to one another and lifting one another up. That really, really brings joy to my heart. Because sometimes y'all be fussing, and I'd be like, not necessarily you two, but just in general. Like sometimes y'all be fussing, I'd be like, what? Why are we fussing? Or Miss Johnny will be fussing. But but then like when y'all are talking to one another and uplifting one another and telling each other like, encouraging words and stuff like that, that really, really makes me happy. So I can't help but smile when y'all are talking to one another. Mar, do you have time for me to ask you a question?
Yeah.
You
What time
sure?
is it?
That's
Yeah.
all right. So I wanted to know, when you were reading your past letter to yourself, you were talking about like how nobody knows like why you're, why you may have been like disrespectful or mean, or something like that. I want to know if you realized that at the young age that you were at, or while you were writing that letter, or like reflecting back, was that something that you realized?
That's a good question. I don't think I realized it that at the age I wasn't even thinking about it because I was just doing me and I didn't care. I think I realized it when I like started to write my letter because when I thought about my past, I heard like people, saying that, oh, you so disrespectful, you rude, and I used to do this, I used to do that. It was just so much. It was hard, like, to go through stuff like that and like to be confused at the same time because you're still young and you still wondering, well, how I'm disgusting. But either way, I did not care and I didn't think about it as much. So I think that like when I was writing the past letter, that I was doing more thinking. Like I said before, I was going to be thinking, and I was like, this is like a replay of a movie. I was going back in time and I was like, think like just rewatching everything going down and rewatching how my behavior was and how it didn't change.
Thank you for
You're
answering
welcome.
that, because that was a question when you were reading, and I was like, I wonder if he realized that just now. But okay, thank you. So I'm
Jamal
gonna.
gotta go, or can I ask one question real
I
quick?
don't know. That's why I'm sitting here like. That's why
So
I
what
asked him
time?
the question, because I was like, I think he got to leave, but I don't know. It's 12:34. You told me you had class at 12:30.
All right, I can do one more
What's the
question.
truth?
He might have told you the CP time. I want to know how you found power over that whole bullying situation. Because it's like the person you are now is not the same person that, when we were talking about and you were right in the middle of that bullying situation. And I know some kids are even going through that right now. So how did you find power, and what advice would you give somebody else to really be able to rise up out of something that can be like so frustrating to deal with?
All right, so personally, me, I was talking to people. That's what I was doing, and I was talking to myself. Um, for me to go through that bullying situation, and for me to come back home and get cussed out and yelled at for not doing nothing about it, I couldn't really do nothing about it because it was one of me, and it was the whole class of them. So, for me to stay calm and humble, and overpower that bullying situation, um, I basically say to myself, honestly. I used to like start thinking that people didn't like me or whatever, because they said I snitch or I'm a rat or something like that. But I did not snitch or rat for no reason. It's not called snitching and rat. It's called defending yourself at the same time. Like I could nearly lost my life that day. I don't want to speak on the story that happened. But yeah, I could nearly lost my life that day, and people start calling me rat and snitch and stuff. I honestly stopped caring. Ever since I told y'all about the issue, I stopped caring what people said, and I just did me. I went to school and I did my work. I was no more like I was hot. I was not hiding no more, whatever. Um, and I was doing my work. People will say my name and say all kinds of stuff, but I still ignored it because I knew who I am and I know what I'm gonna work towards. Because I already had in mind that I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to do this, I want to be a singer, I want to go to college, I want to provide for my family, I want to get my family out the hood. So that was already my goal, and the kids that was like calling me all types of names was not helping me at all. Like I'm probably not going to be remember them in the next year or two or their last name. So it was no point of me even caring what they had to say because I already know who I am and I know what I'm going to do. So at that point, when I stopped caring, they stopped caring. And when they stopped caring, it was more peaceful and I can walk around the school again feeling safe because I know that I'm gonna get untouched. I'm not gonna be touched. I'm gonna be untouched. I'm gonna walk around untouched because nobody touched me yet. And I know that people want to say what they have to say because that's how they feel. And everybody has feelings and everybody has consequences and stuff like that. But I had to discipline myself because I was just so attracted to what they said that it messed me up mentally, if that makes sense. And that's why I had to keep coming to HeartSmiles, talking to y'all, talking about I need to do this, I need to do that. Y'all was actually the people I needed to help me strive through that. And y'all helped me get through that bullying and y'all helped me, prepare myself, become a better person and a better leader. So I think that's what I did to overpower the bullying situation. Not only that, like participate in programs, like make new friends, because you don't want to be that sad, lonely person that getting bullied all the time. You just don't want to do that. You have to join programs and talk to new people. Surround yourself with people that's going to help you and it's going to make a positive impact. Because right after the bullying situation, I joined programs at school. I was texting new people on Instagram that went to Dunbar, and I made so many friends. And it was like so like helpful for me to even do that because when I did that, I felt like I had a support system at school as well, not only at HeartSmiles. So now I can go to school and HeartSmiles feeling protected and having a great mindset and a positive mindset. And now I can go home and I can be fixed it in my household now. because at first my household was very negative and people were screaming, cussing, and it was just so much going on. I used to always call them in Zoom talking about, dang, I really want to leave this household. I was just want to, die and stuff like that. But that's not the mindset I needed though. The only thing that helped me was that I need to be the change in the community. I need to be the change in the school. I need to be the change in my household, and that's what I did. So now, so far, my household has been positive. School has been positive, and not only that, like so far in HeartSmiles, I've been positive in contributing into like different types of things. Um, I'm still transferring to a different school because I feel like Dunbar is not a great fit for me, and I feel like Dunbar had no self control of their school or whatever. And I feel like Dunbar was not for me for real. And it's okay to feel like if you're in a community or you're in a place or neighborhood that's not okay for you, you have to find the environment that's going to help
Yo, I love it. Thank you so much for that. That's a
you.
blessing.
All right, now I really have to go to my class now. All right, so I see y'all. I
Okay,
love
bye,
y'all.
Mar. Thank you
And
so
y'all have a
much.
great day.
Love
All
you
right.
too.
See,
Bye-bye.
Talk to you. All right, Jordan. It's just you. Love. How you feeling? You all right?
I feel a little tired because I just woke up not too long ago. But apart from that, I do feel good.
Okay. So I wanted to say I didn't get a chance to tell Mar before he got up, but I'll just tell him later. But I liked how your letters were not necessarily long, but they were very just like very, you can tell that you did some reflection, but they were also just like motivational to yourself. I in particular, um with your future letter to yourself, you started it off not verbatim, I'm sorry if it's not the exact words, but you started it off saying like, I don't necessarily know where you're going to be. um so I guess I don't know if it's one question or two, but why did you choose that particular, like why did you choose those particular words? Is it because maybe you didn't put a time frame on it, or are you still in the process of thinking about what your future is going to look like, and how does that process look for you?
Yeah, so the reason why I wrote that is because I feel like things kind of always change. And so right now my passion may be art, like visual arts, but there's no telling if that's going to be what I find a career in the future. So yeah, for all I know, I could be doing everything else but visual arts. So but I know that right now that like that's my passion, and I hope that that kind of carries on. But yeah, I mean, I feel like there isn't really like too much about that except for like kind of how things change. And I've like I know that a few friends like have had like passions in other things, whether it was game design or anything like that, and then they moved on to visual arts or theater or anything like that. So yeah, like I think that's like pretty much it as far as like why I took that approach with the start.
Thanks, Jordan. And so I asked you that because of like that particular wording, but I also asked you that because um it's again like a personal kind of thing, because I felt like at one point in time I had felt like pressure just to have like certain goals that weren't my own, that didn't belong to me, right? So like people didn't, openly say like these should be your goals, but it was very highly encouraged. And so I felt certain pressures like, okay, well, I have to do these certain things. And I also felt certain pressures like when people would ask me, like, Morgan, what's your next steps? Morgan, what's your next plans? And this could have been at any age, but
Yeah.
Morgan, how you doing in school? Da 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 da. And it was just like, all right, y'all, like I'm the answers to some of your questions may be I don't know. And that was a result of me not being able to really think for myself in a way. So I wanted to hear your answer because I was like, sometimes it's okay, depending on what the question is, to be like, I don't know the answer and I don't know necessarily what my next steps are going to be. I'm actively thinking about it, but I can't give you a definite answer. And their disappointment is not your fault. Like if they're disappointed in you, or if they want to, say certain things about you, like you're unfocused or whatever, that's not your fault. So that was a personal question for me, but also wanted to see where you were and your thought process about that. Um,
So I think that like a small part of it could have been like, oh, I'm not like 100% sure, like 100% sure if like I will kind of like have a career in the future, or I'm not sure if I'll like succeed, but like I don't want those negative thoughts or like um any kind of negative perspective to bring me to a low point. So I think that although like not every future turns out bright, I would at least want to hope that um the future I have is pretty decent, if not better. So um yeah, I think that a part of it was that like I don't know if I will be able to succeed at all, or I don't know if I'll even have a family or not. But I will at least hope that those things would come with the future ahead.
you gonna succeed. I mean, I don't I want you to wholeheartedly believe that. I don't know what your definition of success is, but make sure that you definitely define what that is for you. Because I think I absolutely see you doing I see you doing a lot, Jordan. And I don't even know. I see you doing a lot though, but as far as like creative wise, and creative can mean a lot of things, but I definitely do, and I want you to believe that about yourself, and I want you to believe that the things that you wrote in that letter definitely and absolutely can come true. So yeah, was it hard for you to write that part?
Um, not like too much, because I think that like uh it's something that I've thought about before. It's something I've thought about, like I wonder what my future is going to be like. And I think that kind of goes for everyone. So yeah, like it wasn't really too hard to kind of put into words, but uh I think there's still like concerns about it.
Thank you, Jordan, for being transparent about that. Miss Joni, did you want to say anything or ask Jordan anything?
Yeah, Jordan. So I want to know from your perspective, like, what is it like for people to see you as kind of like the quiet person that's, not engaged, don't say too much. Like, like did that um did that influence any part of your letter at all? And like, just like, what do you think when people normally like say that about you?
Yeah, so I think it definitely did influence what I wrote. And on top of that, I think that like when people kind of see me as that person, I don't like get upset about it, because I feel like that's what I kind of put out at certain times. That's how kind of express myself in certain situations. Um, but I know that for me personally, uh, uh, I think when it comes down to maybe like the topic, or who I'm talking to, I can be a little more expressive. I can be a little more open and honest. Um, and I think that I try to do that for everyone. Like I try to be honest for everyone, but at the same token, I think that I kind of have a little bit of trouble expressing myself to certain groups, or um, to certain friends. And I think that with HeartSmiles, it's easy for me to be a little more open and honest with people, because they're around my age, and I think that a lot of us kind of go through the same thing, even if it's a little bit different. So yeah, I think it's very easy for me to be open there, whereas with certain other situations, I may not be so open. I may be more quiet. I may be more a little less transparent.
Yeah. What kind of advice would you give to a young person who finds themselves in a situation where it's like they bottling everything up? They're not talking about it, and they kind of feeling like they are drowning in their own situations.
Yeah. So for me, I used to bottle everything because I was one of those people that said, like, if I tell it to this person, they won't understand. So I think that with that, it should be known that there are people who want to know what you have to say, and there are people who genuinely care. And so it took. I'm not saying that's an easy thing to do. I'm not saying like you'll hear that from someone, then you'll immediately start talking to a friend or family member, but do it at your own pace, because at the end of the day, it's important that you talk to someone. It's important that you know that people want to know and people will care, because there are a lot of people who don't. So for the people who do, and the people that you know you can go to, I really suggest going to them, because it'll be very, it'll lift a lot of weight off your shoulders.
Thank you for that. That's great advice.
It really is. It really, really is. Jordan, how do you encourage yourself? Number one, and then how do you encourage other people, just in a general sense?
I kind of encourage myself by like, there are multiple ways. One is by doing what I'm passionate about, so art, or just kind of like letting myself know that like not every situation is going to be good, but you should continue to keep your head high, and just kind of like I guess self-care, not just like in physical but also mental. And I think for people who I try to encourage, I let them know that I'm there for them, and that like I try my best to let them know that like whatever situation I'm kind of in, I'll put that down to kind of talk to them, and on top of that, kind of let them know that they have value, because for me, like, I think that everything has value. I think that people who kind of put themselves in a box where they disvalue themselves, and they kind of embrace that negative, I try to let them know that like, and I think a perfect example right now, and I don't want to give too much information on that, because it's kind of personal for them. But so one of my friends is currently going through a situation. It was
Jordan, did you do that on purpose because you ain't want us to know? We can't hear nothing you say.
Yeah, I thought it was me at first. I was like, oh Lord, my computer didn't shut everything down.
You in the ghetto, Joy. You in the ghetto. We can't hear nothing you say.
Try taking your headphones out and see if it works.
okay. I don't know if it's like good or not.
There you go. Yeah. As soon as you said I don't want to give too much information,
It worked.
I was all like, oh, so that's your idea, not giving too much information.
No.
They're just lip talking.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to put out too much, but so I was helping a friend through a situation because they ended up going through a breakup, and so they felt like they kind of did a bad mistake, and they felt like they weren't there enough, and so they felt like they wanted to end themselves. And so I was kind of like one of the few people there next to another friend who was just kind of helping them get through that. And so I think that why I think that that situation is a perfect example is because they felt like they immediately disvalued themselves. They immediately put themselves like, oh, I'm a horrible person. I shouldn't have done what I did. I don't deserve to live. Nobody loves me and stuff like that. And so I feel like people who feel like that, I think it's just it can be an in the moment thing. And I feel like for me, I've been through a lot of situations where I've done something wrong, and in the moment I felt horrible. And so I think that, yeah, it's gonna be there for a minute and it's not gonna go away right away. But at the end of the day, you do have value, and that isn't just going for yourself. Other people see that in you too. And not everyone is going to love you or like you, but there are people who do. So for those who do, just know that they're there, just know that they care, and just know that you can go to them if you feel like you're not in the best mood, or if you feel like you did something wrong, if there's something that you don't really know how to talk about. And you don't have to talk to that person about it right away, but you should know that you should talk to that person about it.
Thanks, Jordan. You took us right on out. Thank you for just like taking time to reflect on that particular example too, because I think a lot of times when things do go wrong or something, it's very easy to do that self-blaming and kind of be like, oh well, I didn't do what I needed to do, I wasn't good enough or whatever. So thank you for talking about that and talking through that and how you're kind of helping that particular person get through that. Very, very very insightful. All right, y'all. That's it for me and Jordan and Mar too. Thank you to both of y'all for coming on today and reading our letters and again being vulnerable and transparent. My jewel is reflection builds character. So just make sure that you are taking time to reflect and just looking at yourself and looking at the world around you and just taking some time to determine what that means to you. So yeah. Jordan, did you have a jewel? If you didn't, it's fine.
Yeah.
I would.
I didn't remind him that he needed a jewel,
They don't need no reminders. That's J.O.
So yeah, I would say keep in mind that some tunnels are longer than others. Because like I feel like with certain situations, it can feel shorter and they feel like they can last a really long time. But just know that there is a light at the end of that tunnel, and it takes time, but you will get there. You just have to get to that point, and it's not just gonna come by sitting and dwelling, but you have to really work for it. You really have to work hard and get at it, because it won't just come if you sit.
Yeah.
Period.
That's amazing. Thank y'all so much for a great session. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yep, no problem. See y'all.
Yeah, I see y'all tomorrow on Friday.
Miss Joni's favorite day of the week, y'all. All right.
Exactly. See y'all.
See y'all. Love y'all.
That's right, Kat. He already know the protocol. Like, already know what we do. This ain't no surprise, but it's always good when our young people can come on and share their experiences and just like give real advice. Like it don't get no realer than that. So I definitely appreciate that. But guess what, y'all? We are done for today. Yo, we are done, and done. Got Thriving Thursdays later on tonight at 6. I still need a topic for that though. So if y'all have any topic suggestions and what y'all want to talk about tonight on Thriving Thursdays, let me know. Fulfilling Fridays, yay Cam, I like that. That's cute. You know, I like a good name. But yeah, let me know if y'all got any topics that y'all want to talk about for tonight for Thriving Thursdays. Also for academic stuff. I saw y'all was putting some academic stuff in there earlier when we had our guest on. But for academic stuff, y'all, Miss Caitlin got you all day. So whatever you need help with, physics, math, social studies, biology, all that stuff. Send me your work if you got some of your work, you already know what you want to work on, so I can send it to Miss Caitlin, or you can send it to her directly yourself, and we can work on that stuff directly tomorrow when we have Miss Caitlin on. Cam, I sure do got my meal ready for tomorrow. Yep, I'm getting some crabs from my little spot right up here on Rossville and Bel Air Road. I'll go pick it up because that's a little bop from you. It's only like 2 minutes from me. But yeah, I'm getting my stuff ready. I'm getting some crabs, getting some corn, some butter. Oh, I'm gonna be set. I can't wait. I appreciate it. Y'all ain't know Cam treat me to some crabs. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But that's it, y'all. Y'all already know what it is, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You want to be successful? This is where you start. This is where you start. And also, shout out to my little nephew too, if he watching, because today is his birthday. He turned 6 today, y'all. His name is Tartar Sauce. His real name is Carter. But yeah, he turned 6 today. So happy birthday. I pray that you have an amazing day today if you somewhere watching this. So, all right, I'll see y'all tomorrow at 10. You gonna cash at me? Hey, yo. Ha! You doing me like I do the kids. Cam, you was crazy. Thank you, though. I appreciate you so much. But I'll see y'all tomorrow, my favorite day, 10 o'clock. Make sure y'all here.